Fox welcomes you to NASCAR Cup Racing from St. Louis. There's the Gateway Arch. We're right across the river in Madison, Illinois, at the 177th different venue to host a Cup race in NASCAR history. It's a 1.25 mile oval like no other. However, this weekend it's invited comparisons to 5 different tracks the Cup Series currently runs on, with little aspect of each. So welcome high atop the grandstand here in Madison, Illinois. Mike Joy, Michael Waltrip, Clint Boyer. So starting with what? Phoenix, Darlington? I mean, tell us, Clint, about this track and about these comparisons.
Just quit trying to compare. I'm telling you, this baby's different than anything we've ever been at, and that's by design. You wanted something different when they built this thing. Long straightaways, much like a Martinsville maybe, but a tight 1 and 2, a big 3 and 4. Shifting down in 1 and 2. Let's stay on 1 and 2. I think the restarts, short race, short stages, restarts are going to be a premium. Dive bomb city getting into 1, downshift once, downshift twice. That's something that we've never seen this year with this race car. Getting off at 2, back up through the gearbox, down to 3, Mike.
Yeah, I need you to get up off 2 really good, Clint. Get that momentum going down the back straightaway, because we're going to sweep into turn 3. It's not as abrupt, not as sharp of a turn as 1 is. And we're going to go from 5th gear to 4th and run just 1 shift through there, then battle our way up off that corner. There's curbing down on the bottom. We want to get our left sides right against that curbing, but not on it. We saw that cause a wreck yesterday. There's multiple grooves down here as well. You can see the guys have been up a bit as well. So this track is very racy. I like the opportunity to pass going into turn 3 after a good exit off 2.
So a little bit of Loudon, a little bit of Martinsville. There's some Richmond in here.
Darlington, it's
Phoenix.
Gateway, baby.
Dive Bomb City. I think that's a suburb of East St. Louis, just to the south of us.
Trust me.
All right, 300 miles is the distance today, as Jamie pointed out. The narrowest pit road on the circuit on the front stretch of this oval. And there's an access road for pit road that they'll run inside 3 and 4 and leaving in 1 and 2. Joey Logano has won everything here this weekend except the final round of qualifying, a slight bobble. Man, he did not get the pole. He'll start 7th.
How about you, Joey Logano? It's Boyer and the boys up in the Fox Sports booth. Got us?
I got you.
All right, man. New racetrack, new venue. Fords are fast. More importantly, this 22 car has been extremely fast all weekend long. Something about these new tracks just has Joey Logano written all over it.
Oh, I like the way that sounds. We gotta definitely have a really fast Shell Pencil Mustang here today. Was good in practice, and tell you what, I feel like we should be starting further forward than what we are even. So, got a really good race car, and got to execute and figure out, how the race is going to be here, how the restarts are going to be, where the track's going to go, how wide it's going to get. There's a lot of unknowns when you come to a new racetrack, and we'll have to be the first to figure it out.
Tell me about shifting. This is one of the only times I think in my career on an oval that you're actually downshift twice, not once but twice down in 1 and 2.
I'm like a trucker in here. I'm grabbing gear left and right. You go down to 3rd gear in 1 and 2 and grab those back down the back stretch and then back down to 4th over here in 3 and 4. So a lot of shifting here today for sure, but it's nice to get off the gas pedal a little bit, use the brakes and shift and do some different things in here.
Well, buddy, appreciate the time. Good luck.
All right, thanks, man. You too.
36 cars in today's field, paced by Chase Briscoe from neighboring Indiana. With his first Cup pole, he was this year's Phoenix winner. Austin Cindric gets his 2nd front row start of 2022, both in Fords. Row 2, a Toyota and a Chevy. Christopher Bell, top 6 finishes the last 4 races. And Tyler Reddick, well, he's done everything but win, maybe today. Row 3, Ryan Blaney's Ford, fast in practice, the All-Star winner. And Denny Hamlin coming off his 2nd win of the season in last week's 600. There is Logano, fastest in practice in every category, and Eric Almirola, also in a Ford and also fast in practice. Row 5, another rookie in the top 10 is Harrison Burton, who finished a Cup best 11th last week, and Ross Chastain, 2nd in points, who won here in trucks in 2019. Beginning with the Busch brothers, you'll see the rest of our starting lineup roll across the bottom of the screen as we check in with our experts in the Fox studio and along pit road, beginning with Larry McReynolds on the challenge of this pit road.
Well, Mike, with a new unique racetrack comes a new unique pit road. And of course, pit road has been a huge storyline all year long. You mentioned it, Jamie Little mentioned it, just how narrow it is. Well, how narrow is it? Well, let's go back to Charlotte last week. This pit road right here is 16 feet narrower than the pit road at Charlotte. Another storyline from Charlotte, the mistakes that were made. There were 16 pit road penalties, and they range from speeding to uncontrolled tire over the wall too soon. But remember, that was a 600-mile race. This is only a 300-mile race. You make one of those mistakes today, you may not recover. Speaking of pit road, let's go to Cato, New York. Regan Smith.
Well, Larry McReynolds, you mentioned pit road, and we are definitely going to be talking about that a lot today and how narrow it is. But one team that's been talking about it prior today, even though, has been the 20 team of Christopher Bell. Struggles on pit road throughout the course of this year. This race team, though, has been extremely fast. This car always up in the top 10 and top 5 in terms of the speed. They said today the goal is to be clean on pit road, make sure that we can show off how good that race car is and keep it in the top 3 where he's starting all day long, so they don't have to overcome all that adversity that they have to this point this year. Jamie Little?
Well, Regan, coming into this race at Gateway, there was one driver on a lot of people's minds, Chase Briscoe. Why? Well, if you look back to earlier in the season, he won at Phoenix. Phoenix is the closest race setup-wise to this racetrack. Well, he's delivered so far. On Saturday, went out in qualifying, put it on the pole for the first time in his career. So not only does Chase have a fast race car, he grew up in Mitchell, Indiana, about 3 hours away. He has some extra friends and family all here to cheer him on. Mike?
Thanks, Jamie. And there he sits, enjoying the view from his first ever pole position.
Something a little bit different at this racetrack is the entry. You see him right here. This is the commitment, right? Pit entry that you got to commit over there, getting into 3, and then down to pit road speed as you enter the pit side on front stretch.
Right, pit road speed only, yellow line to yellow line on the front straightaway,
right
so
there
you can
is.
Whistle around that apron as quickly as you can.
And you know how these Cup drivers are. They want to be the fastest everywhere. So they're really going to push the envelope coming into the pits around that bottom apron. And the same, Clint, when they leave pit road, getting up to speed so they can have the fastest in and out time of all the competitors.
Busch Lights giving you a chance to win a garage, fridge, and beer money during today's race.
Hey, hey.
Follow Busch Beer on Twitter and tweet using the hashtag BuschLightPolite and hashtag sweepstakes every time Harvick makes a pass during today's race for a chance to win. And starting 20th, he'll have plenty of opportunity.
And I say he takes advantage of those opportunities. We know Harvick, he's going to be making some passes.
Some of those passes ain't going to be too polite either.
Today's Credit One race analysis. 240 laps around this 1.25-mile oval makes up the 300 miles. Stages are 45, 95, and 100 laps long. 45 miles an hour on pit road, and you've got about 70 laps of fuel. So, Larry Mack, how do you want to see this play out?
Yeah, Mike, stage 2 and stage 3, they're going to be interesting. The big question, I talked to a lot of crew chiefs, do you split the stage in half or do you run it long? It seems like as long as it takes to get on and off pit road, Mike, at that 45 miles per hour, I think you're going to see them run it long, almost go the full fuel run in those 2 stages, should we stay caution free.
Larry, chance anybody would short pit and go for 2 tires for track position?
Abraham Lincoln, absolutely.
Okay. There's a reason for that. I'll tell you later. Here's our onboard cameras, beginning with A.J. Allman. There's A.J. Allmendinger. He won in Portland in the Xfinity yesterday. Made the trip here. Starts in the back, the Goldfish Casino slots cam.
Hasn't turned 1 lap, by the way. Not 1 lap on this racetrack.
The Sonny D cam riding with Ricky Stenhouse, starting 27th. The Hunt Brothers Pizza cam. Kevin Harvick starting 20th, as we mentioned.
Watch his hands today, Mike. He likes to saw on that wheel, that's for sure.
That he does. The Monster Energy cam rides with Kurt Busch, rolling off from 11th, right next to his brother Kyle.
You know he'll be giving you a good ride.
And Joey Logano, who won practice, starting 7th. There is the Ford Performance cam. So that we got some audio from his teammate, rookie Austin Cindric, who starts from the outside pole.
All right, man, let's have some fun today. Let us know what you need to be better. Keep this thing up front. Sir, copy that. You guys stay safe and smart on pit road. Try and stay in this thing.
There's the all-new 300 horsepower Toyota Camry TRD that's going to lead the field to green here. Big pyrotechnics on the backstretch.
Big fire. That was cool.
Yeah.
I tell you what an event. It's been a long time since I've seen somebody put on an event like this at this racetrack. Packed house today, and I'm loving it.
So last week we had that coded call of Abraham Lincoln, which meant right side tires on that pit stop. Do you know why the code was Abraham Lincoln? The penny bears the face of Abraham Lincoln, and it is the only U.S. coin where on the front of the coin, Abe is facing to the right. Everybody else faces to the left, so right side tires.
Boy,
and if that wasn't the reason, I don't know what.
Was that left side or right sides?
Look at that crowd, sold out crowd. Here outside St. Louis, that is a sight to see. And they are all wearing their favorite driver's colors, both past and present, except for the fellow in the Stan Musial jersey right down in front of us. Recent winners at brand new Cup tracks that are new to the Cup Series. Ryan Blaney on the Charlotte Roval, Chase Elliott at the Daytona Road Course, Joey Logano when Bristol turned to dirt, Chase Elliott in Austin, Texas, Kyle Larson, Nashville, Chase Elliott on the road course at Road America, A.J. Allmendinger on the Indy Road Course.
Look like Hendrick Motorsports puts their arms around these new venues pretty quickly. It'll be interesting to see how they're able to fare today. Didn't qualify particularly well.
So on the start of the race, we're going to be listening to Joe Campbell. He's the spotter for Chase Briscoe, who's number 14, rolls from the pole and chose the inside lane for the start.
That's interesting, Boyer. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think all day long you want to be on the bottom of this racetrack. I think you need to get a good jump here if you Chase Elliott, get up through the gearbox and look over that shoulder. Block, block, block. Protect that inside. Don't let him
Stay ready.
I like the top.
Chase does it.
10 away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Green flag, and we're underway in the gateway to the west.
Pretty good drag race. This long straightaway is going to give you that.
All clear, all clear. 2 tight in line.
Track's hot, slick today.
And they're 3 wide. That's a heck of a combination.
Who's going to give? None of them. Still 3 wide. Now they've got it sorted out. Larson got both of them.
Now that is a very tough spot for the spotters. They are atop the grandstand at the turn 4 end, and there is an awning that blocks their view of the middle and exit of turn 4. So that's a tough call to make.
Check out this battle, man. They've been 3 wide most all the first 2 laps at some point or another. See this big move to the inside. Here comes Seabell looking low, blocking off Blaney.
These guys are going to be aggressive all day long on these restarts. So important to get these passes made early while those tires are fresh and good and have a lot of grip.
Blaney goes through for 4th. Here comes Hamlin on the inside against his teammate, Christopher Bell.
Bell slipped up top, and it opened the door for Denny, and it's going to bring along Almirola as well.
Look at this run.
Dive bomb.
Chastain almost gets in the back of Denny Hamlin. Gets the thing slowed up.
I guarantee everybody saw that coming, Clint. Ross isn't going to mess around.
Watch this. Now the opportunity for Logano. Will he take it? Here he goes.
Who said there wasn't going to be any passing? Wow.
Somebody's going to have to give in this one.
Four bottom.
I agree with you, Christopher Bell. Good idea. Lifted, got back down to the bottom, sorting it out.
All we heard about this morning was how hard it was going to be to pass. I don't know, Michael. That looked pretty edgy, but it didn't look hard.
It seems very challenging to be able to make a move. You're going to get stuck side by side, and somebody's going to sweep 3 wide to the bottom.
That's exactly right. When 2 cars get side by side, it really stalls one another out, gives that car behind them huge opportunity and a big run.
Wasn't Bell right up front a minute ago, Mike?
Yes, he was.
He just keeps on slipping on back.
Started in row 2.
Oh, another 3 wide. Man, that makes me nervous because I know how easy it is to slide up off that bottom. Truex kept it down, though.
Chase Elliott gets the better of him from the middle, and here comes Kyle Larson with them. Up at 9th, Burton and Bell. You called him Seabell. Seabass won yesterday in IMSA. Sebastian Bourdais in the Cadillac prototype.
Well, maybe Seabell can do it again today.
Maybe so.
These runs that these guys are getting off of 4 creates that dive bomb scenario that I was talking about. Try to outbreak them getting into 1.
Well, the Busch brothers started side by side. They're still side by side, racing for 10th.
Listen to him work that gas. Finally wide open, banging those gears.
Needs the real estate off the corner, though. I've noticed, you know, if you can stay door to door with them, it seems like the outside line off of 2 gives you an advantage.
Hadn't been a great start for Christopher Bell.
3rd to 12th.
And you just look in your mirror and there's just so many competitive race cars, guys that you know are going to be able to come up there and heat you up. Cole Custer now sets his sights on Christopher.
15th. Bubba Wallace coming into that picture. To the inside of Michael McDowell.
What about McDowell? He's having a good season. 5 top 10 finishes.
Larson looks to be struggling a little bit tight, it looks like. Running the outside of the racetrack, can't hold it down on the bottom.
Up front, Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe.
I think you can really open up the entry a little bit if your car starts to get tight. Maybe swing a little bit higher and try to get a better angle exiting the corner. And also the shifts. Those are things that you can adjust or vary when you do it. That can change the handling of your car a bit.
Yeah, you certainly use a downshift to your advantage. You know, if you're having trouble getting the car woed up, you use that downshift, shift a little bit earlier. If you're loose into the corner, you might wait on that downshift a little bit longer.
There's the line I was talking about. Up top. Now watch him dip low.
You know, riding along with Joey Logano. Got into the corner at turn 3 high, kind of did a crossover, got a straighter shot up off, putting the power down. See what he does in 1 and 2. These guys are already higher than we saw in practice on both ends.
I talked to a couple of the drivers, Clint, and they said they watched that truck race yesterday and noticed there was grip up top, and they were planning to take advantage of that.
Well, that's a little bit by design. Had the Trier Dragon on the racetrack before they came, and working that outside line and getting some rubber up there.
Guys, we know how fast that Joey was in practice on Friday, and he's doing the same thing right now early in the race. He's downshifting earlier in both corners, getting in than most of the other drivers.
Now, if your car's stable, a lot of times when you have a long straightaway like this and really hard on the brakes getting into the corner, the thing has a tendency to get loose. If your car's stable, makes good grip getting in, you can utilize that downshift to get the car woed up, maybe not use as much brake. All those things are good for a long run speed.
Chase Briscoe has led the first 10 laps from rookie Austin Cindric. Julio Jones having a big time as racing is in St. Louis, NASCAR Cup style. Chase Briscoe leads by 2 car lengths, and you still have a chance to win $5,000 of Clint's cash. Just scan the QR code now. Download the Super 6 app and enter your picks in the NASCAR Stage 2 contest for a chance at the jackpot. Download the Super 6 app now and play for free. Fords in positions 1, 2, and 3. Here are today's Ford track facts. St. Louis, 177th track to host the Cup Series. Ford has now won on 100 of them. First Ford win was on the beach at Daytona, Jimmy Florian in 1950. Briscoe and Cindric running right where they started. Christopher Bell started in the front 4, but he has dropped 10 spots. Regan.
Mike, it's been a tough start to the race for this number 20 car. Everything was silent on the radio until about 2 laps ago. Christopher Bell then came across the radio and said, this race car is too loose for me right now. Loose meaning he is sliding those rear tires out as he goes through the corners. They're going to have to get an adjustment to try and get him back up front.
Thanks, Regan. The Busch brothers running right close to where they started. Here is Kurt's assessment of the track.
Tracking a little loose at 3 and 4. There's off at 2 as well. You see it. With pace drop off, the front's going down or it's going up. Something's happening. Yep, head for probably the back.
Ross Chastain +4 from the start of this race. He's in 6th, Jamie.
And he's on a roll, Mike. You guys talked about it. There was a lot of concern about passing and if it would be possible. Well, Ross Chastain not scared of that. Loves a challenge. They told me they brought this car into this race today more on the conservative side. Didn't want to stick him out there with that air pressure issue that we saw in practice on Friday with a few other teams. So right now, the only thing he's saying is that he's a little bit tight, so a little on the conservative side.
Well, that's fast. He's one of the fast 4 on the last lap, last time by.
You see how high he's running in the corner, too? I've been noticing that in 1 and 2. Definitely higher than anybody else.
Let's go to 7th place, Eric Almirola and Joey Logano. They have flipped 1 position from where they started, 7th and 8th.
Look at that little run through the middle. You're going to gain time off the corner when you run that high line. You make it up in the middle, but it's pretty much a wash so far. I've been watching this battle closely. I think Joey's got more speed than Eric, but he just can't get there.
Needs that car out from in front of him, doesn't he? Trying to get his car rotated a little bit sooner than him. Honestly, I think it's going to be lap traffic in the name of the game. Once we get into lappers, you're going to be forced off of that dominant line, and that's going to give you opportunities to pass.
Now Tyler Reddick running right where he started in 4th position, and they're talking to him about the number 1 car's line.
The 1 car, 10 back behind the 11's the fastest car right now. He's right side chasing Gray both ends.
Also, only shift into 4 in turns 1 and 2. Sorry, he's only going to 4th. He's not going all the way to 3rd.
Good intel. You're going to be hearing that from them spotters, telling the drivers updates all day long. But you heard me say it. I thought he was the highest in 1 and 2 that I saw out of the window, and certainly was. All the teams are paying attention.
But now help me, Clint. The spotters are above turn 4. How does the 8-car spotter know what the 1 is doing in turns 1 and 2?
Well, more than likely, he's probably got somebody else down there too. You see them. I saw Brett Griffin wasn't very happy about where he was spotted, but he's always kind of winding around a little bit. But their perspective, you see right there, you get a good vantage point off of 4. But as those drivers are going away from you, much like at Phoenix, we take the green flag, go off into turn 1, it's away from them. Not a very good vantage point for a spotter to be able to call inside, outside, or clear, or near.
22 green flag laps. BJ McLeod from Florida, first car to go 1 lap down to Chase Briscoe, who has led all 23 laps. Here is 5th place.
Here comes the dive bombs. You see him putting the pressure on him. He gets to the bottom, but you see that outside line prevail. See the momentum you carry off of 2.
Don't you see these other competitors, Clint, when they race Ross? It's like they know a dive bomb's coming. They're like, all right, I'm going to open up the entry and try to just beat you off the corner by running high.
Let's watch this outside line. See if he can get the car rotated in the wake of Denny Hamlin.
And they're both closing in on Reddick as well. You see the 8 car just up ahead.
Yes, sir. Now, see, he entered a lot higher, crossed over, got that momentum off the bottom, slipping up a little bit up off.
Larson hasn't made any progress. Started 15th, running 15th.
Hendrick cars have been quiet all weekend. You know, definitely not, you know, a Hendrick. Hendrick-esque weekend. I like that.
Well, now Kyle Larson is one of 10 drivers in this field who have never turned a wheel here before this weekend.
Yeah, pretty hard to believe these guys, you know, are showing up for the first time. Literally, A.J. Allmendinger ran Portland, Oregon yesterday, comes over here, never turning a lap, dropped their green flag. Let's go figure it out, boys.
You know how worried?
And he's passed 6 cars already.
That's right. You know how worried Kyle Larson was about never racing here before?
0.
Absolutely 0.
Well, he's raced everywhere else.
It's got to be like one of them, right?
Probably raced 4 or 5 other tracks this week he never been to.
That's right. Indiana's Chase Briscoe on point. Started first, running first in all the 26 laps so far as we go Fox side by side. Chase Briscoe from the pole led the first 27 laps, and then a snake bit his left rear tire. Had to make a pit stop under green, and he has lost a lap plus here.
There you see it getting soft.
But I got to tell you, he was very efficient getting that thing back to pit road, getting on and off pit road, and minimizing the damage.
Well, it couldn't have been a worse time to go. Either goes down the front straightaway. You see there, he slows down. Long time around there to pit road to get that tire changed. But right now, only a lap down.
I think he's got some options, too.
This is repairable. We can get out of this hole.
Yeah, we could stay out at the end of the stage.
I was afraid it was going to be 2. Yeah, I was afraid it was going to be more than 1.
So here's 4th place. Chastain up 5 spots since the start, looking at Hamlin's left side.
He's there, Mike.
He's had trouble with Denny. Been trying, he gets those runs off of 4, tries a dive bomb. Denny's holding strong on the outside. You see him diving in there, trying to put the pressure on him. That's what's you know, cool about this new car and the diffuser and all the under aero. You drive up there to the rear bumper and it just doesn't take all the air off of them and get them loose like that old car did.
You know what he's being? He's being a moose. He's just really driving hard and pushing.
Yeah, do you think a moose aggressive? He ain't being a mouse, I can promise you that. Hadn't been all year.
I like that kid. I love his aggression. Watched him run in the trucks when he first came around. We're like, this is a special driver. He's fought hard for this opportunity, and now he's winning races.
These two are catching Tyler Reddick, the third-place car. Chastain's led more laps in the last 4 races than all but 4 other drivers have led all year.
Starting to get guys into lap traffic. That lap traffic you see right there, those are the opportunities that you're waiting for and try to capitalize on.
Kyle Larson has only passed 1 car all day. Now the 77's a lap car. Oops.
Oh, Harrison got loose. Kyle tried to make a run on him, had to get up out of it as Harrison slid up in front of him.
Burton in 14th.
Little damage to the front of the 21 car you see there.
After Larson made the pass.
Look at that. That's... What do you...
Tyler Reddick now 3 seconds back up the lead in 3rd.
Ready. I think it's going apart. 10-4, they're getting ready.
Sounds like he's...
I'm just trying to keep you focused here. You do what you need to do. You were right last week. We don't need to wreck the car, so you do what you need to do.
That's exactly right. He started telling them, had a vibration last week on that tire. Sure enough, it did. It came apart, had a flat tire, it came in and got it repaired. If that kid says he's got a problem, you better listen.
Trying to hang on. 8 more laps to the end of stage 1. Kurt Busch in 12th. Martin Truex just ahead.
There's...
Outside.
Just went past Parker Kligerman. They had to rebuild their backup car to race today after the primary caught fire here on Friday in practice. And Joey Logano still behind Eric Almirola. He's made a couple of runs at Almirola for 6th. To no avail.
I'm going to be interested to see what these adjustments, how the teams are able to work on these cars. Guys with experience now know what they have to have, and they're going to call their team, communicate about how the car's handling. We heard Kurt Busch going down a long list of issues he was having. How do the pit crews and the teams adjust?
I think you nailed it right there. Moreover, do not, when this pit road opens and we come to a caution, whether it's a stage in or whatever it is, clean up the mistakes. Mistakes on pit road is going to shake this race up. You can't afford mistakes in a short race.
How about Austin Cindric? 2nd front row start of the season. The 2020 Xfinity champ started the season off in Daytona, winning the biggest race of all.
And that's a great feeling when you're going to walk around your whole life as a Daytona 500 champion. And I'm really happy for that young man. A quality kid, really has focused on racing since he was a kid. He went to his dad and said, "Dad, I want to be a race car driver." His dad said, "You're too tall, son."
And lined up with one of the best in the business, Jeremy Bullins, early, clear back in my Jack Daniels days. He was my engineer. Jeremy Bullins, a lot of confidence in him, like that guy. Daytona 500 champion already.
And you know what's cool about this, Clint? You know, you win Daytona, they say, well, that's a super speedway race. It's kind of a wild card. But you come here and qualify on the pole and run like he's running today. I mean, that's
taking care of business.
That's impressive. That means you can run good anywhere. Nobody can say you're just a Daytona guy.
Right.
I think it plays into his background, though. You know, a road racer. You heard us talk about a lot of shifting on this racetrack. Something different. The fact that both ends are different. Kind of like a road course.
Brian Blaney, all-star winner in 2nd. 1 second back of his teammate. And as we look for stage points, go back to 10th spot, and there's Christopher Bell, who started this race in 3rd. Dropped as far as 13th or 14th, but he has regained 3 positions late in the stage.
And that's a long run car. You like that. He will probably ask for adjustments from his team to help him on the short run because he likes what he's got on the long haul.
Kyle Busch in 7th, looking back from Joey Logano's Ford Onboard.
See how fast they go down into turn 170, you think, Clint? Oh.
Yes, and look at extreme braking getting in, trying to get position on him, maybe looking to the outside. Oh, slips up a little bit, had to get up out of the gas, and man, you see the difference that makes. this racetrack from what 160, 170 down to below 100. A lot of braking, extremely fast on the front straightaway, lots of brake getting into one. But I like that. That creates that opportunity. I'm telling you, restarts are going to get more exciting when we get this pay window open and the money gets on the line.
Down to 99 miles an hour. Larry, how about this place versus Martinsville for being tough on brakes?
Yeah, honestly, Mike, at Martinsville, you get on them and you're not on them a long period of time. But we have seen brake pressure here already in the 600 to 700 PSI. That's like what we see at Coda at the end of those long straightaways.
Wow.
So yeah, you're using a lot more for a longer period of time here, Mike.
Wow. 15th Bubba Wallace ahead of Cole Custer here. Wallace had an unusual exit to last week's race in Charlotte we did not fully document. They had very minor damage on a caution, went back out on track, but the NASCAR rule requires you to get up to minimum speed within your first 3 consecutive green flag laps back on track. They were coming to the stage end. Wallace didn't do that. They cruised along and NASCAR parked them for the night, per the rule book. Austin Cindric, 1.5 seconds up on Ryan Blaney.
Still battling it out.
Wow.
Oh, so close.
He has dove underneath that 11 car. I don't know how many times, folks, cannot get that pass completed. Going forward on the last lap. Juice is worth the squeeze. Let's figure it out. See what we can get away with.
Green and white checkered flag out. Austin Cindric is going to capture stage 1.
And you saw how close Briscoe was to going another lap down. So important for him to get out there, stay on that 1 lap down scenario. 1 lap is manageable. You go 2 down, you're in trouble.
So Briscoe, the pole sitter, now the last car 1 lap down as Austin Cindric has his first stage win. Stage 1 is over. There's a Lightning McQueen fan. I'm not raising my hand. Stop that, Mom. All right, let's see how they handle this narrow pit road with 31 cars on the lead lap. A lot of stack up yesterday early in the truck race, cars coming out of their pits while other cars were still entering the narrowest pit road in the Cup Series. Regan.
Mike Denny Hamlin, a very detailed description of his race car to interim crew chief Sam McCauley, of course filling in for Chris Gabehart, who is currently suspended right now. Said the race car started off the race too free, migrated it too tight in the center of the corners, but is going to need help with the freeness off if they fix the center. Jamie?
The 8 of Tyler Reddick happy to get in here and get these new tires. He thought he may have an issue, just needs a little more rear security, air pressure adjustment in the left rear. The 12 of Ryan Blaney loose on entry and exit. They're going to tighten him up there just a bit. And the 2 of Austin Cindric as well. And fired off pretty good. They're going to wait on adjustments here. Just want to see how that 2 reacts here, round number 2, stage 2.
There's your Ram race off pit road. Most of the congestion down at the turn 1 end of pit lane. Kyle Busch picks up 4 spots thanks to what has been all season the fastest pit crew in NASCAR.
About you there, stage 1 winner, Austin Cindric.
What's happening, Boyer?
Man, I tell you are. Bad fast race car, holding a pretty wheel out there. The boys did their job in the pits, still in the lead.
Yes, sir. Obviously, a fast Atlas Menard Sport Mustang, trying to keep it up here. It's fun. The track's moving around a little more, or at least earlier than I thought it would. So, trying to keep this piece under us and stay up front here and get a forward victory lane.
Yeah, tell me about that groove moving up. Obviously hot and slick out there. Grip level still treating you well?
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting. You know, I think it gets to a certain point, track distance matters too much, but Chase ain't going to let me run higher than him, so he kept moving up when I moved up. So it's interesting for sure. See how what the limitations are.
All right, buddy. Thanks for your time. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Everyone pitted except Chase Briscoe, who will take the wave around to get back on the lead lap. Austin Cindric, stage 1 winner.
Look at there.
Hey, there's a Kenny Wallace dirt shirt. I wonder how much Herman made off that shirt. We're going to find out because, as producer Barry Landis and I told a writer this week, Kenny brings the fun. So here is a former Busch Series, Cup Series driver, former Speed TV personality, and now gentleman dirt track racer Kenny Wallace.
I love St. Louis. You know, they used to make a joke that St. Louis was the best flyover town. We don't want to land in St. Louis. I told you earlier today, Mike, they have finally landed. Man, what a great event. So proud. Traffic got in early.
Yep.
We're watching a clean race.
They got in early because of you. They all came to see you on the midway, entertaining them. Great job this morning. What a fantastic event that was.
You know, that was all Chris Blair, the promoter, Mikey. He said, I want to go back to the old days. I want to give the fans something to do. They got them parked early, and, man, we had a great show. Kevin Harvick, C-Bell stopped by, my brother Rusty and Mike. We had a really good time. There was a lot of people out there.
How'd you do in your dirt modified last night? Runner-up?
Run second, took the lead with 5 to go. Trey Harris got me with about 2 to go. Slide job city, but it was a great
I don't think he's been home yet, boys. Still got the pit pass on from the dirt track last
Was there
night.
a beer involved afterwards? Did you have a beer with your buddy that beat you?
I was afraid to drink because I knew I had to get ready for the day, Mikey.
Is that the seniors wristband, the blue wristband for?
Tell you
Yes.
what, the 9-car Chase Elliott came back down pit road. I don't know if it was a loose wheel or whatever, but 9-car will be coming from the rear.
They
Sounds
came
like
in
the
at-
left rear nervous that it wasn't tight, came back in.
All right, we'll get an update on a couple of the Hendrick cars after we go green. Here they come to the Geico restart zone, and this sellout crowd is on their feet.
As hard as it was to pass out there that first stage, I think you're going to see some elbows up. A little bit more aggression on this restart.
We saw 3 wide and 4 wide on the opening start, and we're back to green.
Cindric took that bottom again. I told Clint earlier I like the top.
How about his teammate, Ryan Blaney, holding strong on that outside? If you can keep him choked down off of 2, you get that run. Advantage goes to you on the outside.
Sometimes turn 3 can be that daredevil corner where you go down that long back straightaway and who's going to give, but they're going through their 2 wide. I think it's a really racy corner, especially with new tires on.
I'll tell you who isn't going to give, and that's Ross Chastain. He's been making those dive bombs, as Clint said, all day long.
And still trying to get past that 11. Moving him up the racetrack.
Oh, that's tight.
See the momentum to the outside. Ryan Blaney might go to the point here.
First 8, all side by side.
Man, that's so hard to hold your car down, as you see.
Whoa,
Cindric's not able to
way
do
up the
so.
racetrack.
That's what you call being full of spirit.
And these two, they're going to exactly what they did. Good job fanning out there. Austin Cindric falls in line because that 18, you get stalled out door to door with your teammate. 18's going to be coming. Speaking of coming, the 8, Tyler Reddick now.
That caution flag was a big benefit for Reddick, who had a vibration and thought he had a tire going down and made it to the stage end.
Look at Kyle Busch getting aggressive on that left rear of the 2 car.
And Chastain does the dive bomb again into 3. Jamie Little.
Well, Mike, in practice on Friday, a couple of the Hendrick cars had cut down a tire, so they all went a little conservative. Well, this is the left rear that just came off of the 5 of Kyle Larson. This is called cracking. There's almost a separation, so they pumped up that air pressure there. And then 9 car, Clint, you mentioned it, they didn't get that left rear tight. They had to come back in.
Yeah, we talked about it. Mistakes on pit road this short race. Excuse me, going to be interesting to see how Chase Elliott and company with that 9 car can get back up through the field.
I'm impressed with Austin Cindric. He goes into turn 3, knows he's loose. He feeds it right up to Kyle Busch's door, and we know the payoff is not going to be good. He lays off of him. He still wants it back.
He's being very aggressive. That's so hard, Kenny, you know, to run side by side down into these tight corners, especially turn one.
I think the outside, you know, the grip level's there. The advantage goes to the outside. If you can stay door to door, not get pushed up too much on the entry, you get that straight drive up off, chokes their bottom line up, and you can go on. Like the outside.
Ross Chastain really liked it. You see how high he was there, but look who's coming. The guy that, Mike, you talked about being fastest in every session yesterday except the final one of qualifying, Joey Logano, making some progress. He's up to 6, really fast. He got around Ross Chastain. Watch that 22.
Watching Ricky Stenhouse, 28th. Let's go back and ride the restart with Stenhouse.
Man, he's been struggling, Mike.
Oh, look at that, Ty Dillon. Oh, he blocked to the inside, so Stenhouse goes to the middle, tries to shoot the middle, and then 42 shut the door on him there. Little contact.
It's been a rough go of it for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He's been languishing back in 28th position, hasn't made any progress.
These guys are going to be looking at, you know, at Stenhouse. These guys in the back, how are they going to get up through him? They need a caution, break this stage up, take advantage of a 2-tire stop or a little bit of gambling.
Now, Ross Chastain lost 2 spots trying to pass Hamlin, and that creates an opportunity, perhaps, for Logano. This is 5th and 6th.
Kenny, how many races have you ran here?
A lot. A lot. But you know what I'm really impressed with right now, Clint, is we're seeing like Kyle Busch, drivers that made their first chassis change. So now you're seeing Kyle Busch run a little better. The first chassis change ever for these guys at this racetrack.
What part of this racetrack did you like the most when you ran here?
When I ran here, it was a must to be on the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Okay, as we watched Joey Logano paint the bottom, so this curb, I could put my curb, you know, my left front on the curb and peel my front end around it and find grip. Now these are heavy cars, a lot more power, so they're sliding up and they're using more of the racetrack.
So, guys, you notice Kyle Busch running second right now. He's been running some of the fastest laps the last 2 or 3 laps. He's changed what he's doing shifting. He now is only downshifting once getting into turns 1 and 2.
I think that's enabling them to just carry a little bit more momentum, right? You downshift down in a third, that's going to slow your car down even more. If you can get it figured out to get the car rotating, get back to the gas and only shift once, should be faster.
28th place, trying to work their way back up. Chase Briscoe and Chase Elliott. The Chase and Chase show has been side by side the last couple of laps here. Briscoe led the first 27, Austin Cindric 26, and Ryan Blaney has now been out in front for 9 laps in St. Louis. Illinois. Broken toe link on Denny Hamlin after contact from Ross Chastain in turn 1.
Big time contact.
Here's a look at it.
Ross has been all over the back of Denny, and he finally just runs into him.
He definitely moved him. Probably frustration. He was door to door with him a lot of times, got under him several times, could not make the pass. He finally made the pass. That's not going to be, Denny is not going to be happy about that.
Jamie.
And Austin Cindric and his teammate both in. Ryan Blaney on the right, Austin on the left. 12 of Blaney saying the balance was a little bit better there, so they made some good adjustments. Same on the 2, and you see the 12 in. So all together, pitting at the same time here, guys.
Now Denny Hamlin pulled out of his pit stall and then pulled to the side and let everybody go past. Still with damage, you can see there. He just wants to make it around, try to stay on the lead lap. Now watch the 17 with Zane Smith aboard, getting turned by, I think, Michael McDowell.
Oh, got up against the wall too.
Narrowest pit road in the sport, and it's a busy place under caution. Look how close it is on pit road. Kurt Busch pulls out. There's a car to his right, and he is close, almost a brushback of the tire changer on Chase Briscoe's car.
And a 5 on the outside of Kyle Larson. It was so close. We told you it was tight. That's how tight.
Last week, a tire changer on Joey Logano's team got hit, but he is here and back on the job today. That's close. We're coming green. Kyle Busch has chosen the outside on Joey Logano. They're the front row. Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, and finally they've made repairs on Denny Hamlin's car. He is 2+ laps down. He'll be 3 before they get to turn 1.
That's your Mo.
It's exactly the opportunity the 9 needed. Got back in the race. Knew he needed some strategy. Just a short while ago was back down pit road into the back.
Yeah, and he just stayed out there on those.
Now this is a change of scenery. The 22 is passing the 1. Chastain's been trying to pass everybody, so this is new for Ross.
First 3 cars last pitted at the stage break, lap 48. The cars right behind have about 18 lap newer tires, but those a lot of those laps were caution laps as Ryan Blaney tries moving up.
Big old block there, wasn't it, Clint?
Yeah, teammates. Kevin Harvick, big block on his teammate Eric Almirola down the front stretch.
Clint, is something going wrong with Ross Chastain? He's lost 2 positions now. It looks like he's working that outside groove, but it's not as fast as it was earlier.
Jamie?
Well, you guys were talking about the incident between the 1 of Ross Chastain and the 11 of Denny Hamlin. I just checked in with the team owner for Ross Chastain, Justin Marks, and he said he hasn't heard anything. They haven't said anything on the radio. There was no ill will. He thinks there's maybe something happened to the 11, but that's where they stand.
Well, let's have another look at it.
All right, when we're racing, we check our mirrors. So you see Denny Hamlin, he checks his mirror. There's a lot of room. Then all of a sudden, whoa, what's this all about? So either the 11 got loose, brake issues. In my opinion, Ross Chastain really, now look, Ross is getting loose. His handling's going away. But I don't know. I think this one's going to brew for a little bit, and we'll read about it during the week.
I tell you, you might not have to read about it during the week. You might see the result of it here in a little while with Denny Hamlin.
I am in agreement with him, Dub.
Now, guys, I will say this. I've been looking at the data, and Ross Chastain did get on the brakes just before he got into the back of the 11. So he was trying to stay off of him, or at least not get into him.
Right now, Chastain is on much older tires than the cars he's racing. Blaney went by. Cindric now going by with much newer rubber.
Yeah, interesting strategy after that caution for Denny's wreck.
To Larry McReynolds' point, there's so much data now, you can't get away with nothing.
You wouldn't like that, would you, Kenny?
Well, back in our day, you know, they'd look at your hands. You know, in-car camera would catch you.
And then they'd also ask you, did you run wide open? You say, yeah, I did. But you really didn't. And nobody knew any better, right?
You could get away with a lot back then. You can't get away with nothing now.
13th place here, Christopher Bell, William Byron.
Seeing a lot of cars slipping up. William Byron right there in 24 got loose. I think these guys are struggling on 2 tires.
And for 4th place, this is Austin Cindric again on newer tires than Ross Chastain, who comes right back after him, hanging on that left rear. Woo.
I'll tell you this, just a footnote with Denny Hamlin. I'm pretty good friends with him. He does not rough people up. That's not how he races. He doesn't like to see people hitting people to pass him. He likes to earn that spot. So I'm sure this isn't settling well with him, and he's running around about 2 seconds off the pace, and it's probably getting even worse, his attitude with the wrecked race car.
10th place here.
Nice run by Eric Jones again.
So, Mike, if you're 2 seconds off the pace, will that 1 car eventually catch you?
Yes, if I do the math correctly, Clint, it won't be long. And that means he has to pass him when he catches him.
Hamlin is 3 laps down, 1 car out of the race. Corey LaJoie just went to the garage. Not sure what that issue was on the number 7. Kevin Harvick working on Eric Jones. This is for 11. Jones restarted 8th, Harvick 10th, both with new tires.
Watch this driving style, Kenny. This is so awesome. He turns that wheel, saws on it more than anybody.
Pretty early downshifts, got the car woed up, wrap on the bottom, much like you talked about, Kenny. When you like to run well here, you find the grip down on the bottom of the racetrack. That downshift was way early, got it slowed up.
Clint, this is the first time we've ever seen heavy race cars with a lot of power, so that's why I believe the outside groove is preferred. You know, we'd had the Xfinity cars that, they'd run lower with lesser power.
And let me correct, Larry informs me Harvick did stop at lap 66, but he got fuel only to gain track position. No tires.
It's been a good run for this team. We talked to him on the grid. He started 20th. He's made his way up toward the top 10, and we expect this out of Harvick. And watch him close today.
Well, teams just like DeFore and Kevin Harvick, Rodney Childers, you're looking for opportunities within this race. That opportunity was untimely caution to Denny Hamlin. When that happened, certainly changed the game for a lot of folks. I think the biggest benefactor was the 9 of Chase Elliott. He was down and out, right back in the game.
And the 8 of Tyler Reddick. Remember, he had thought he had a vibration and a tire issue. So here's one of the questions in Clint's Stage 2 contest on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. Where will our pole sitter be at the end of Stage 2? Right now, Chase Briscoe is 24th.
And Chase Briscoe is back in the game after that flat tire.
Moving up on the front row cars there, or rather there's Austin Dillon outside the front row car of rookie Todd Gilliland.
Are y'all going to say it or me?
Go ahead.
Okay. The 11 is waiting on Ross Chastain, I believe.
Or is he?
Here we go.
Yes, he might be.
Here we go. Oh.
Wow, there on your tight, really tight.
Oh. It was a show.
He run down the racetrack and then tried to get to him. Obviously, the handling's down. You knew he was going to show his displeasure.
Maybe is that all he showed? So, is that it?
Well, that was the first stab at it.
And they have a history together. Jamie.
Well, Ross Chastain, his spotter and crew chief were all on board. They said, all right, what do you guys think? And Ross said, surely he won't. They said, time it out right and try to get around them. Regan?
Well, Jamie, right before we saw what just happened down there in the corner, I checked with the 11 team. They said that he absolutely did not have an issue in the corner. They felt like they had just gotten run into is all that took place. And based on Denny's reaction, I'd say that that's how he feels.
We'll handle that after the race. Don't worry about it.
Copy.
Squeeze play. Something you'd expect to see at Busch Stadium, not out here on the 1.25 mile raceway, but Hamlin took Ross Chastain all the way down to the grass.
goes out for payback against the Bloodline, and after a streak of ruthlessness, the ring general Gunther challenges Ricochet for his Intercontinental title. It's an all-new edition of Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
Well, we had our own little bit of SmackDown right here with Ross Chastain and Denny Hamlin going into the fence and losing 3 laps making repairs. He's still on track 4 laps down after a little bit of brushback. Kyle Busch, your leader. Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, Ross Chastain, the usual suspects. Chase Elliott. How about Michael McDowell up for 7th place? They're just ahead of Martin Truex and having a strong run here. He restarted 9th and has gained 2 spots.
He's had a strong season. I mean, that team's just been running in the top 10 more this year than I can ever remember, and that's great for these guys. They're taking advantage of this new car and having some great runs.
Also in the top 10, Tyler Reddick in 9th spot. There he is right behind that duo. Here's Larry with today's Subway right combination.
Yeah, Mike, this is Tyler Reddick, his crew chief Randall Burnett in the 8 team. It's their 3rd season together in the Cup Series. 86 races, 5 second-place finishes, including 2 this year. And in 2019, not only in the Xfinity Series did they win 6 races together, but they won the championship. Numbers like that could be the Subway right combination to get their very first Cup win in the first Cup race at St. Louis.
Well, he's done everything but, 5 times a runner-up so far. I think Harry Gant held the record with about 9 where he finally won.
I'm a believer.
Yep.
He's going to get it done. It's only a matter of time. He's going to get Richard Childress back in victory lane.
I agree 100%.
So back to Chastain and Hamlin for a moment. Kenny Wallace, what the greatest short track racer ever have to say about racing and retaliation?
The great Dick Trickle said to me, my boy, there's a group of us that have to race each other every night in Wisconsin. We don't have time to be wrecking each other. So these drivers have to see each other every week in the garage area, on the racetrack. You got to drive them the way they drive you.
Well, this is the way I see that. We are going to see Ross Chastain racing for his first championship. You're also going to see the 11 racing for his first championship. He will remember that, and he'll put it in a bank, and if he needs to pull that card, it'll be there.
We're just following along here with the progress between the 11 and the 1, and the 1 was going to be on the old back bumper of the 11 here in a lap or so. We'll see how Denny handles that.
We are intensely watching.
Well, let's listen to this.
This is number 11.
35 back to the 2 and 1. The tower just said they think you made your point. You're right.
And that puts a period on that.
Here we go. Round 3.
Well, we'll keep an eye on this as Kyle Busch leads Joey Logano by a 2.5 seconds. Ryan Blaney another 2.5 seconds back.
Clint, here they are. What do you think?
Timing's a little bit better, but Chastain may wreck him again.
This is good.
He's definitely messing with him.
Inside.
Held him up about as long as he could.
Okay, so we all love to quote the great Dale Earnhardt
How about these
Sr.
quotes there,
Yeah.
Kenny?
Hey, I learned a lot from the best. Now, here's what Earnhardt Sr. would say. Wait till the last race of the year when it really hurts.
Well, that's what I was alluding to earlier. There's going to be a time when they're racing for a championship, and I think, that'll be there. Hey, I get it. I get both sides of it. At the end of the day, he got wrecked.
Oh, no,
Ryan
Blaney, left rear tire. And caution waves at lap 95.
He's one of the cars that pitted on lap 66
and got 2 tires.
Hit right here. They're going to get the pace car first.
It's definitely one of the cars, just like you said, took 2 tires. Now the left rear 35. The last one was 27 laps on the 14 cars. So somewhere around that area, we're going to maybe see more trouble. Now, obviously, we did this in Kansas, and these teams made adjustments, air pressure accordingly, cleaned up some of this. But again, left rear tire, you see Ryan Blaney go around.
Does a nice job hanging on to it best he could. Long slide, but minimal contact.
So this a result of either low air pressure or excess camber or a combination of both. The damage is done to these tires. Goodyear says in the first lap or two of a run, but doesn't manifest itself until 20 or 30 laps later, as has happened here.
Is able to get back around the pit road. See what kind of mess they have on pit road here.
Hard to get those cars as low as they are.
Yep.
Get them jacked up so you can get the wheel off. Finally got it up high enough. Away he goes.
Dent Wizard will have that back end buffed right out Monday morning. Not worried
Again,
about that.
you know, you wonder, having a lot of complaints, you know, what's the deal with these tires? That's a little bit on the teams. I'm going to say the teams are pushing the envelopes. You know, obviously it's there, and there's speed in that, there's grip in that, and you push it as hard as you can, as close as you can. That's racing.
So cars that I imagine should pit here are those that stayed out on the last caution, which would be Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, and Chase Elliott. There were 4 other drivers that took fuel only and 5 that just took right side tires. So be a mixed bag on pit road. Let's check in on the Coca-Cola family of drivers. Joey Logano second right now. Daniel Suarez, Austin Dillon right around 20th, and Denny Hamlin, after ending up in the wall in turn 1 after contact from Ross Chastain, has made repairs and is 5 laps down. Larry Mack, mixed bag here. What do you think?
No, I think they'll all be coming, Mike. That was 25 laps, and you can make it easily from here by stopping to the end of stage 2. So I think pit road, that old narrow pit road, she's going to be busy.
Very good.
Larry, can anybody afford, if you took 4 tires before, you think you need some track position, 2 tires worth it here, or all 4?
I don't think it is, Mike, because Clint, I think it's too far to the end of this stage. If it was closer to the end, then maybe an option, but it's not right sides we're having issues. We're having those left rear issues.
Denny Hamlin's already on pit road, making further repairs to the right rear. Josh Bilicki gets the free pass, and here they come to pit road. Regan.
Well, Joey Logano on the turn 4 end of pit road because they were going to have an opening out of their pit box. Very important for them. They wanted that pit stop. Right now, that race car just started getting a little bit too tight in the center. It's too loose off. They're going to fix the loose off first. Jamie?
Ross Chastain in the 1, not a lot of talk about the balance of the car other than it just felt different with that last set of tires. No adjustments there. The 18 of Kyle Busch. Don't want to over adjust, so a little air pressure and 4 tires. And the 2 of Austin Cindric felt like it fired off better that time around, so they're going in the right direction with these changes.
Crowded house on pit road there. Now 7 lead lap drivers stayed out, led by Michael McDowell and Tyler Reddick, as the caution is out for Ryan Blaney.
sold out. Look at all the people here. It's crazy.
That is a sight to see. Sellout crowd at Worldwide Technology Raceway taking in the Enjoy Illinois 300. The first 10 cars on this restart stayed out and did not pit. McDowell and Reddick, Michael McDowell choosing the outside. Almirola and Bell, Jones and Harvick, Kurt Busch and Suarez, Gilliland and Ty Dillon. Free pass again to Josh Bilicki. Here we go with 32 cars on the lead lap.
This is going to get wild, y'all.
A lot of blocking.
Oh, loose off turn 2 was Reddick. McDowell slow down into 3, bunching things up. Wow, they're all over the place.
It just
around goes the 9, Chase Elliott. Just had talked about how he got back in this race.
I was just going to say, it amazes me that they can go through their 4 wide like that.
When they can.
Tells me we're going to have to go back and watch this replay. I think the 1 car had something to do with this.
You mean the car that is right up Chase Elliott's left rear? Oh.
They were 3 wide. Just got into the left rear quarter panel, turning around.
Oh, Harrison Burton slides into Chase.
Bubba Wallace spun, but no contact.
Minimal damage to any of the cars, right, Mike? Look at that.
Let's hope.
Squeeze play.
It was a squeeze. And now I'm going to say aggressive. Everybody's being aggressive, but definitely run out of real estate. And that's the way I saw it.
I mean, what was he doing? He ran me over getting into 3 and then runs me over again. Just like a can opener.
That was Chase Elliott and spotter Eddie DeHunt. Let's ride with Ricky Stenhouse.
Good heads up driving. Spotter telling him, go up, get to the bottom. Got through there. So that's the rest of the story, right? You heard Eddie DeHunt say, you know, it got into us getting into 1 and then finishes off. We saw the squeeze up off of 4. But just a lot of aggression out of that 1 car. We've seen it all year long. Definitely seeing it today.
And here it is in real time.
It's amazing there weren't more cars crashed out in that wreck, spinning sideways on the
Right in the
narrow.
middle of the pack like that. You're so right.
Yeah, that's crazy. We said it was going to get wild, and wild it did.
Jamie?
And it's surprising, too, Michael, that the 9 didn't get more damage than he did. You saw him sideways with multiple cars having contact with him. He came on the radio, obviously not happy with the 1, but the 9 said, I'm actually good. I think we're okay, but I do have a tire down, so he's coming down pit road right now.
And that is an area where the spotters have a partially blocked view. They're coming out of turn number 4. Michael McDowell still your leader. Caution out at lap 102. As Ross Chastain gets into Chase Elliott, who turns around, as does Bubba Wallace after contact. Saturday baseball night in America on Fox. My childhood dream World Series, Cubs-Yankees, it never came to pass, but it'll be on Fox, or you'll see Mookie and the Dodgers battle the Giants. Action begins at 7 Eastern on Fox. Check for the game in your area. Cards fans,
you know
race
that guy,
fans, they're all here.
I don't know him, but I like that logo.
Yeah, it was such a cool downtown experience for me. Been a long time since I've been in this city, and you know, our rooms, I mean, literally, Kenny, my room was, you look out the window and Busch Stadium, right? It was felt like it's 10 feet away.
A lot of people will book a room and
watch from the room.
Yes,
that'd be awesome.
Hamlin and Chastain are just going to end up side by side on this restart, just by chance. Hamlin 9 laps down, and Chastain one of the last cars on the lead lap ahead of B.J. McLeod, who got the free pass.
And right behind Ross is his other buddy.
Tell me
Chase
the Lord
Elliott.
don't have a sense of humor. How does that work?
There's Chase right there with him.
This could be almost as fun as the front of the pack, where Michael McDowell and Eric Almirola share the front row. Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Eric Jones, Kevin Harvick. Here we go.
It's going to be wild again, Mike.
Well, Denny didn't, but
oh, jeez!
What a double!
It's a double on
a tag team.
It's the worst case scenario. Both cars you wrecked start side by side to you.
Meanwhile, back at the lead, Michael McDowell takes off from Eric Almirola and Christopher Bell.
It ain't over, Mike.
Nope.
One still got to pass Denny.
And Denny's not giving him any room at all.
I'm going to tell you what, this is a show.
No, there's only one solution to this. Park them both.
What are you going to do about Chase?
But look at the enjoyment we're getting.
Yeah.
Tell you, man, nothing behind you guys here.
After Chase and Denny, you know, fighting over the years and having trouble, now the fans are both. I'm telling you, the one is still having trouble.
Hey, now, Chase, remember,
Denny Hamlin.
The one, if he is considered to have been damaged in that crash, he has 3 laps to make minimum speed, or they'll park him.
Look at the fans. Everybody is watching this.
Take care of your nose.
That's Brandon McReynolds. Who
He said, push him out of your way, man.
The one spotter. He's got 3 laps to get up to minimum speed, or NASCAR will pull his scoring card, as they did last week with Bubba Wallace.
I wonder if they've mentioned that or thought of that, the team.
Jamie?
And Michael, right when you asked that question, the one team got on the radio and said, remember, we have to clear the clock here.
Well, he finally made the pass, so he can clear the clock. Look at this battle for the lead.
How about Michael McDowell? Exactly, Michael. Thank you.
Strung out down the back straightaway, being led by Michael McDowell.
All right, the one has met minimum speed. He is eligible to continue. So on the restart, Chase Elliott was right on Chastain's bumper, and Denny Hamlin to his inside. No friends.
Oh, my Lord.
That's why you don't poke the bear right there. And I hate to say it, but that's what happens. There's consequences to every action. And unfortunately, Ross Chastain is experiencing those consequences.
And that wasn't all. This continued for about a lap and a half.
Almost so bad that he didn't make minimum speed, like you were saying. So, what's some chaos? But I'm telling you, so impressive with Michael McDowell, Eric Almirola. This race is changing hands in a big way.
11th place here.
Looked like Logano got a little bit loose on the back end of Harvick, and that put Kyle Larson with a chance to get by on the outside.
In fact, Logano and Larson got into one another a little bit.
I got Ross on the brain. Do you, Mike?
See the left rear damage. The 22 got into the 5.
And that's brought Martin Truex right to them in this battle for 11.
Looks like Logano's going to settle in.
Martin Truex made news this week saying he's going to let us all know in 2 weeks if he's going to retire or not. He's such a great race car driver that kind of caught me off guard.
Well, a win today would probably change his mind, whichever way, or confirm he's going to keep racing. Or
Yeah, a win solves everything.
yes,
right,
it does.
See Tyler Reddick looking to the outside in 3 and 4. Didn't quite get up to the door of Eric Almirola. Good racing up here at the front of the field. There he is moving to the outside again. That's no surprise to any of us that watched this kid race. He likes that outside line.
Tyler Reddick's been one of, if not the best Stage 2 racers all season.
Just got to get that third stage down pat. Been so close. There's a dive bomb. Trying everything he can do.
Clint, I really feel like with more pit stops, they're getting racier. They're completing passes with these adjustments on their race cars.
Well, you know, if you can't get it done in the pits, you got to get it done early. And from what I've seen in this, you know, you've got another opportunity late in a run with lap traffic and things like that. But you've got to capitalize on these restarts.
Now here's Chase Briscoe after having a left rear tire go down under green after he led the first 27 laps. He is still working his way back to the front, currently at 15th.
Stayed out.
Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, it's hard row to hoe. You know, if you look at the 9 of Chase Elliott, had the opportunity, the gift, if you will, of that caution coming out, mixed the field up, gave him an opportunity, landed in his lap. Chase Briscoe happened to grind this thing out, pass him the old way
And right
on the
behind,
racetrack.
excuse me, right behind him, Blaney, who's also coming back from a left rear issue. Lead tightening up here as Reddick gets right up to Almirola, and they've got company. Christopher Bell back in play. Larry.
Yeah, Mike, what's more impressive about what Michael McDowell and his 34 cars doing is, yeah, they pitted on lap 66 just like Eric Almirola and Tyler Reddick, but they have not changed left sides on that car since the end of stage 1, so he has much older left side tires than those two right behind him.
His left sides have held up fine. Makes you wonder what happens to everybody else's.
Well, that's the point. You know, Kenny, you asked about it. You asked, hey, how are these guys having trouble like this? And when they came here and did tire tests, ran 50-lap runs, such, you got to push the envelope, and maybe that 34's got a little bit more air, less camber.
So here would be my question to you two professionals, and for you, Mike, too. When will this left rear tire drama, will it end, or will it go on all year?
Well, hey, we've seen it, right? You saw it at Kansas Speedway. We've seen it a little bit at Charlotte last weekend in the 600. They make adjustments, make corrections, and a way that the tire issue just quietly goes away.
Kenny, we're going to see it at every track where a driver is more concerned about fire-off speed than long-run speed.
I agree with that, and I thought about that when Chase Briscoe led early and dominated. It's like he paid the price because his tire blew out earlier than everybody's.
Harvick, Logano, Larson.
These boys are fighting hard right here. Logano got to the outside. It's interesting to see how these guys try to pass, try to dive bomb on the bottom, or if you can get to their door and get to the outside of them. Looks to me like that's the way to successfully complete a pass.
What about that power move by Kurt Busch, able to pass for the 4th position? Kurt's got a fast Toyota today. I talked to him, Mike, the other day. He said, I don't know if I'm cranky or just old or something, but I don't like doing all that shifting. Well, he's shifting better than most today.
You bet. Jamie.
How about Michael McDowell? You see his crew chief right there. Blake Harris, a rookie crew chief this year, but he was a longtime car chief for the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. This team is just connecting. The last month they finished 4 top 10s in the last 6. He's had more top 10s this season than ever before. Of course, Michael is a veteran in this series. He's already led more laps today, Mike, than he has all season long.
Only 2 of the top 8 have wins in 2022.
Clint, are you listening to this? Only 2 of the top 8 have wins in 2022. I'm saying 17 winners, Kenny Wallace, and there's only 6.
got 11, Cowboys. Slow down.
It's coming, Clint.
Win and you might not get in? Wow. Michael McDowell out front as we go side by side. 125 laps complete, and the hits just keep on coming, don't they? There's the 9 of Chase Elliott, the 1 of Chastain, inside Josh Bilicki, and here comes B.J. McLeod.
What in the world is going on?
It's a heck of a day at sea, sir.
These are professional race car drivers acting like street stock racers. We're having fun.
All right. We're going to hear from B.J. McLeod on that one.
Telling you, tell him to straighten him up. How you putting up with it? I'm right next to him. I'm talking to him.
Talking about the spotters, talking back and forth. The David Pepper, McLeod spotter. Blaster, that's kind of what he did to Chase Elliott right there. Inadvertent as cars slowed up in front of him.
This battle here is really heating up. Reddick got tied off of 4. Kurt Busch right to his bumper.
9th on back here from Larson, Cindric, Logano, and Truex. And this is 3rd place. Kurt Busch has been coming after Tyler Reddick. Looks like he may have him this time.
Oh, not so quick. Tyler's going to dive deep in the corner, you know that, and try to ring that top.
Well, this is where the frustration gets is you see he gets to the bottom of him, wraps that bottom just like you were talking about, Kenny, but that outside line, you can't get up in front of him, get him clear. Outside line prevails up off the corner.
And now there's another Busch coming. Maybe if they double team him, they can get it done.
So the 45 of Kurt Busch has really lit his program up lately. Is it because his team's better, or is he learning to drive this car?
Cars have gotten better. Toyota's really shaped up, you know, and again, I take it back to Kansas Speedway. They really came on strong collectively all across the board, the Toyotas. But when those Gibbs cars picked up, the 2311 cars did as well. Bubba Wallace.
Whoa, turn 3.
Bubba Wallace, speaking of that, man, I spoke too soon on that name.
And he did not spin. He got a shot going into turn 3 from Ricky Stenhouse.
Man, we've seen some spins without any contact. That's crazy.
There was plenty of contact here.
Contact.
What in the...
Golfing buddies. I know what that was. Denny saw that firsthand, saw his car getting wrecked and didn't like it. Now watch Denny Hamlin come up here, show the displeasure.
Caution's out.
This flat got run over. That's the 3rd time we've seen it. Frustrations. Hard to pass here today.
I meant without contact into the wall. I knew there was contact that caused it, but they were able to stay out of the fence, and these guys can race on, so then they can invoke their revenge on the people that did them wrong.
The straightaways are so long that it's almost like road course racing. You get to the end of the straightaway, we're like, oh, I went in too hard.
Look at that. Oh, no, not Ricky.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, Kenny. I think it's frustration setting in. It's extremely hard to pass. We're watching that. You get frustrated with a guy, you get to the bottom, he keeps hanging on your right rear. We've all been there. That's frustrating. They show that frustration, move him out of the way, and backed him into the fence.
Michael, this is turning into an episode of As the Tire Turns.
I don't know what.
It's a soap opera.
The fans in the stands are standing up, pointing at all the cars, trying to figure out who's mad at who, and I think it's going to wind up, everybody's going to be mad at everybody.
And while they're doing that, guys like Michael McDowell, Eric Almirola, Reddick, these guys are putting on a show at the front, capitalizing on them boys making all these mistakes.
There's been so much strategy today. You see Kurt Busch staying out.
And he's not the only one. Regan.
Well, Christopher Bell, a nice recovery after struggling on the early run of the race. Earlier on, loose with the back of that race car. They've corrected that. Now he's just a little bit too tight in the middle of the corner, and it causes it to get loose on the exit of the corner. Jamie.
Michael McDowell in the 34, just loose center, needs an adjustment here to help him get through that. The 10 of Eric Almirola rolling pretty good. Wants to be a little bit better through the middle of the corner. The 18 of Kyle Busch in as well. They've been adjusting on that car and done a nice job. Fuel can down.
That was Tyler Reddick's gas can, we believe. And I believe I saw Eric Jones take just 2 tires trying to gain some track position, but watch the Reddick stop. Not quite disconnected.
Oh, that's going to cost him. He was deep into the box. I noticed that, but what was he, 3rd, 4th place driver? Those mistakes, got to clean them up.
You know, guys, we're going to go back racing with just a little over 5 or 6 laps to go in this stage. And again, we had been talking. The fall off on tires was literally nothing. That's the reason Kurt Busch stayed out. They feel like they've got a shot at winning this stage. I'm almost surprised Moore did not stay out. Now, we can give you a little bit of example between Michael McDowell and Kyle Busch. There were 31 laps difference in their tires. Kyle Busch with the fresher tires. Let's look at the Ghost car right here. Again, 31 laps more on Michael McDowell's tires than the 18, and you see right there with our 2 Ghost cars, there is literally no differential whatsoever. So I feel like you learn from this. We are now just about this final stage. Track position is going to be king, and I don't know what 4 fresh tires, if it does that much for you.
Did you see that horsepower down the back straightaway come in? That was pretty impressive. That 18 car got really fast right at the end of the straightaway.
Well, 9 drivers stayed out.
Here.
Would you believe B.J. McLeod, who got the free pass, a caution to go, he's now the 9th place car.
Wow.
He got back on the lead lap. He stayed out. He's in the top 10 along with Cody Ware, Justin Haley.
This race has had it all. I mean,
yes,
we've seen so much strategy, people mad at each other, and that's just typical for a racetrack where it's difficult to pass. They're going to lose their cool, and there's been a lot of contact.
But I like this right here. You're not going to win the race on speed. Win it on, do something on strategy. Do something different, because if you do what everybody else does, you'll follow everybody else.
When those lap times are the same, strategy always is going to play a role.
I would get out of the way if I were them. They're just going to get run over if they stay in the top position.
But they're going to finish this stage better than they would have if they just did what everybody else did, right?
Another thing that I think I saw with McDowell in that Ghost car, especially in 1 and 2, I think he only downshifted 1 time. You saw Kyle Busch really slow down the middle of the corner and then squirt, fast up off the corner. I think he shifted twice, where the 34 downshifted just once and carried more momentum through the middle of the corner.
When I see and hear these drivers changing, instead of going 5th, 4th, 3rd, they go 5th to 4th. Also, that helps you not spin the tires up off of turn 2.
Get off the corner a little bit better, yeah. With these cars, it's just, it's all about momentum. We have a lot more horsepower than we had last year, but these things are still very, very sensitive to momentum. When you lose it, they don't like stopping and going.
Chase Elliott making another stop on pit road. Here are your Toyota top performers, as we're 7 laps from the end of stage 2. Kurt Busch, Martin Truex, Kyle Busch in the top 10. Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin. Larry, about 24 cars on the lead lap did stop. What's the strategy here?
Yeah, Mike, they're thinking, what do we need to do to win this race? You will see the majority of them stay out at the end of stage 2 because, again, they're only going to have about 6 laps on their tires. If you stayed out, that's kind of forced your hand to have to pit at the stage break.
I like it, though, Larry. Some of these guys need those stage points. There's a big bonus at the end of the season for the most points, regular season points, and so some guys are thinking that.
All right, getting ready to restart. Cody Ware and B.J. McLeod did drop to the tail. They are still on the lead lap, trying to finish out this stage with Kurt Busch and Kyle Larson up front. Cole Custer, Ricky Stenhouse, Byron and Haley, Truex Almirola, Kyle Busch, and Eric Jones, the top 10.
Took the outside, did Kurt Busch.
A lot of 3 wide back through the field.
Winding it up off turn 2.
You're clear.
All clear.
Whoa, Kyle Busch dropped to the bottom, jumped right up in line, drops again. Coming to the front.
Look at this gaggle.
Truex shot up in the corner, got into the back of Custer, getting into 3, looking to the outside. And here comes his teammate Kyle Busch right behind him.
Custer drops in line 3rd. Kyle Busch to the bottom. Against him, Truex to the outside. Kyle has picked up 3, 4 wide off turn 2 in the back.
Kyle Busch has notoriously been one of the best restarters in the last 15 years. Man, he can get it on.
Well, I tell you what, who's doing it this time? It's his teammate Martin Truex making the pass for 2nd on Larson. Going after Kurt Busch for the lead.
Look at that purple car back there, the number 99 of Daniel Suarez right there. He's crept into this picture too, running in the 6th position. That's something that we definitely expected Suarez to race forward.
Eric Almirola in 7th, 4 to go in stage 2.
Look how high Truex is.
Yeah, it just keeps getting higher and higher.
He was the first car to come off pit road after taking 2 tires.
They're really showing up. 30 to a 60 of Kurt Busch. It's not going to take long. Cutting 2.5, 3/10 of a lap off the lead. Catching him's one thing, passing him's another, Mikey.
Earlier it was Chase and now it's Kyle and Kyle as they battle for this valuable stage point in this position.
And these fans are all on their feet. Nobody's sitting down. They're loving this stage racing.
Look how high Truex is.
On purpose.
Yeah, so high. Didn't slide up. That's exactly right.
Wow.
Big run down the front straightaway. Getting a big toe in the draft.
Suarez had a look. Stenhouse right now is 10th, the final point paying position.
There's another 10.5 cut off of the lead.
Fifth place, 2 of those Stewart-Haas Fords, Almirola and Custer.
Wow. Suarez got there and lost his momentum. Got right on the back of Cole Custer.
Might be able to shoot over and do a 2 for 1 here. Here he's going to go for it.
Last lap of stage 2.
Thought better of it. Probably a smart move, Mikey. I agree with you, Daniel.
One of the most famous sayings in auto racing, like you said, he thought better of it.
This is for the final point in stage 2. 10th place.
Wow. 3 wide here, getting into 3. Let's see how they sort it out. This is the final point in the stage.
Wow.
Blaney really.
Ricky,
yep.
Is that a little contact on the left front, maybe?
Well, he definitely got off in the corner hard. I don't know if he locked the wheel up or not. It shot up the track.
Kurt Busch, your stage 2 winner. Martin Truex, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Eric Almirola, the top 5. Bell, Suarez, Custer, Jones, and Blaney, the top 10. Kurt Busch, the old man still got it.
Mistakes on pit road is going to shake this race up. You can't afford mistakes in a short race.
Pit road's been a crowded place, but very few errors to be seen so far today. Here we are at the end of stage 2, and pit road's open. Regan.
Well, Mike, William Byron struggling with that race car. He needs grip, he needs turns, he can't load the right rear of that race car. A number of different things they're trying to fix, along with getting track position for him. The 41 of Cole Custer got some stage points right there. Another race car, though, very disconnected right now. Loose in 1 and 2, tight in 3 and 4. They can't loosen it up because it's too loose in 1 and 2. Jamie?
A lot going on there. The 45 of Kurt Busch, who just led their 12 laps, said he just needs an adjustment to fire off better exiting the corner on the 45 and the 5 of Kyle Larson. Cliff Daniels said, I know it's going to be painful. We have to pit here. We'll take 4 tires. Larson said, I have been the best all day on right side tires only.
Here's your Ram race off pit road. Kurt Busch holds the lead. William Byron up 2. There's the race off pit road.
Hey, Kurt Busch, it's Boyer, Kenny Wallace, Michael Waltrip, Mike Joy. There's a bunch of us up here watching you hold a pretty wheel. Stage winner, what do you got out there?
I commit another channel, sorry. Channel 2.
Well, that was
do all that
no
again.
Good. I felt like I sold it too, Mikey.
Say it all again.
Hey, Kurt Busch, man, there's a bunch of us up here at Gaggle. You got Kenny Wallace, Michael Waltrip, Mike Joy. We're all watching you drink a little bit of water. Winning a stage, what do you got? I give up. Oh,
I
there
got a
he is.
really good car in practice. I got a really good car in clean air. And I got a good car on the long run, so I'm like, that's it. I'm overriding this thing. We're going to win the stage. Glad it worked out. Just want to thank everybody at 2311. Monster Energy Toyota Camry TRD. Booyah! Got a stage win. And it was all on just teamwork, just making sure we're doing the right things at the right time. So now we're buried in traffic, so I'll see you guys in a while.
All right, buddy, good luck.
Don't you love our racers? I mean, they are just so spirited.
The good news,
He wasn't very
he's first
spirited
off
about
pit
that
road.
traffic he's got to go.
The bad news, he's 25th, but on the lead lap. Getting ready to restart with Kenny Wallace, St. Louis racing legend, and don't want to rush you out of here, but I know you got to get that modified ready for Lima Land, Ohio Friday night.
This Friday, I drive the truck by myself. You guys know what it's like. I love my life. I'm retired, but I'm racing that dirt car every weekend. And you golf, and what do?
Drinks beer.
You work on TV?
I do the same thing you do.
And I just love my race car.
Hey, there ain't nothing better. There's nothing better than rolling
all.
into a truck stop and seeing somebody recognize you. You're like, man, what? Are you driving your own truck?
I can't believe Wallace is driving his own hauler, man.
Heard it 1,000 times.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, headed for the exit. Thanks for being here. We're going to take a look for the Geico restart zone, and we're going to go with stage 3. How about that? Truex and Kyle Busch up front. The first of 22 drivers that stayed out. Then Almirola and Bell, Suarez and Jones, Blaney and McDowell. As Larry said, they've already made their stop. They're ready to go for stage 3. Kurt Busch restarted 23rd, the first car off pit road of those that did stop. 3 wide, Harvick sandwich there. Back in 10th place.
Ryan Blaney had a run on Eric Jones. Eric Jones thought better of it, blocked him getting in, stuck him up on the bottom. 4 wide. Whoa, talking high. Austin Dillon got pushed way up the racetrack, saves it.
They are scrambling back there in that pack. Look at them, 3 wide.
And way back there, here's Ricky Stenhouse. He was right back at the bumper of Bubba Wallace exiting the corner.
Well, we'll see if Bubba plays nice over that dump that he took.
8th place here.
Look how high they are. I mean, that's incredible, Clint. We didn't see that coming, did we?
And here comes Briscoe back into play. The pole sitter led the first 27 laps, cut down a tire under green, and he's been fighting his way back ever since.
The closer he gets up front to clean air, the faster that car will be. He can still be a threat in this race. Battle for 11th. Bowman and Harvick.
6th place on the left. Blaney and McDowell.
So impressed with Michael McDowell. Yep. That car is bad fast today, and he's doing a great job keeping that thing up in clean air. Guys in the pits are doing a good job. No mistakes. Clean race so far, Mikey. That's what it takes.
That's exactly right, and he's done a great job. You know, he's an Arizona guy, Glendale, Arizona. He must feel right at home at this track that races a lot like Phoenix.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now everyone is on the lead lap except Denny Hamlin, who is now 10 laps down but continues. Corey LaJoie in the garage with engine issues is the only car out of the race.
Daniel Suarez battling for that 5th spot with Blaney, trying to get it done on the bottom of the racetrack.
You got a little buffer, 34, 43, then 14.
You see his teammate down there in 18th position on the pylon, Mike. He's trying to battle back through the field to get up front, but he's got a couple of roadblocks in his way as he tries to do so.
Yeah, that being said, Daniel Suarez, he's going to have to, carry the flag for Trackhouse Racing. He's been fast all year long. Right there with his teammate, just can't seem to get all the pieces put together every single week. A little less consistent than the one car.
Tyler Reddick in between Harvick and Ty Dillon. Reddick back in 14th place. He's picked up 5 since the restart. Harvick -3, Ty Dillon -3 spots.
You can see Ty Dillon how he wraps that bottom, catches Reddick in the middle of the corner, but on that exit, the outside is just so strong.
A.J. Allmendinger had a late flight last night from Portland, Oregon, where he won the Xfinity race. Started in the last row with the driver change.
Needed 2 seats on that flight, didn't he? One for him, one for that trophy. Brought some iron home from yesterday's race. What a wild race that was. going off the racetrack twice on the first lap, coming all the way back up through the field, winning, never turning a lap on this racetrack today. Pretty impressive so far, Mike.
Now, Ben Rhodes practiced and qualified the number 16, and to get it ready for AJ today, they had to change the steering column, change the position of the digital dash, a different seatbelt and harness package, and put AJ's seat insert in the car. So the Pollock team had a lot to do.
Now he's battling with Brad Keselowski for 16th spot. That's awesome to come from the back all the way to the top 20.
Starting to get it figured out, isn't he?
4th place.
Bell and Blaney.
Blaney restarted 8th. He's up 4 since the restart. Martin Truex out front of Kyle Busch. Regan?
Well, Mike, what a weekend it's been for Martin Truex as well. You think about practice, this team really struggled with that race car. It was tight, chattering the front tires. They leaned on their teammates a little bit, pulled a little bit from different setups on each car in the Joe Gibbs camp to put in this car for today, and it is working. Fired off the race on the tight side, but since then it has come to life. Martin pretty happy right now and quiet on the radio.
As he should be. In practice Friday, he did not like his car at all.
It's just, you've said it, Mike. You said it when you got up in here in the booth yesterday, and then again on Friday practice. You just can't get your handle on who is a dominant force in this sport. You're thinking the Fords. We sold on pre-race. The Fords are going to dominate today. Where's the Fords at? Gibbs boys up front.
Yep. And where are the Chevys? Suarez 6th, Jones 8th, Bowman 11th.
I've said it before. One word describes 2022: unpredictability. I mean, as much as we know, you never know what's going to happen next.
Austin Cindric started this race outside pole. Now he takes 10th from Alex Bowman.
Joey Logano, the guy that we felt like would be the car to beat today, we haven't heard much out of him.
I would have told you, if you asked me to who bet on, put my money on today, Joey Logano is going to lead 100 laps at least.
Yes.
And hasn't found that yet. Been knocking on the door, but again, these untimely cautions shake the races up. We know that. 2 tires, 4 tires, staying out. We've seen it all. We've seen wrecks. All that stuff plays into the equation of who gets out front and has that clean air. But doesn't really matter. 82 to go. That old pay window ain't open yet.
Ooh, when does that open?
I'm gonna tell you.
Clint?
Well, depends on how many more cautions, but about 50 to go under green. That's what I'm gonna say.
82 laps to go in Madison, Illinois, just outside St. Louis. Martin Truex leading us to a NASCAR on Fox. Crank it up.
Oh boy. Gonna have to be aggressive. Everybody else is. Oh, we're getting ready to be. On the front turn, and now the rear is really, really loose. And you are all clear, Closer than he was last time. One back. And fly me.
.78 laps to go. Martin Truex trying to join one and only one driver who has won his 600th career start. I'll tell you who when we come back. Martin Truex in front of Kyle Busch by half a second. .73 laps to go in St. Louis. Martin Truex in front of Kyle Busch by 0.8 of a second in front of Blaney, Almirola, and Bell. Time for the Credit One Bank ones to watch.
Now, he's not leading yet, but I told you at the top of the show, I think a Ford's going to get the job done today. That being said, 12 car Ryan Blaney led a lot of laps earlier in Phoenix, but compared to this track quite a bit, led a lot of laps in Richmond. Ryan Blaney's my guy.
Clint, Christopher Bell in that 20 car, they've had speed all year long. They just couldn't close the deal or come close to it at the beginning of the season. Here of late, they've come to life. The last 4 races, 4 top 10s, 3 top 5s, maybe consistently one of the fastest Gibbs Toyota drivers, but everybody has one more trip to pit road.
I'm going to keep my eye on mi amigo Daniel Suarez. Daniel was fast last week at Charlotte, won a stage, led a lot of laps. He's got some great track position right now. He's going to close the deal one of these days. It just might be today.
Well, Kyle Busch started this race 12th. Then he said his car was junk. Well, the pit crew has come through once again, gained him multiple spots on pit road. They've made good adjustments. Kyle Busch won an Xfinity race here. Kyle Busch gets the first win here in the Cup Series at Gateway.
Phoenix winner Chase Briscoe led the first 27 laps today. Had a tire problem. He keeps fighting back. He is up to 9th place. Can he make it all the way back to the front? We'll see. Those are your Credit One Bank ones to watch. Martin Truex Jr. out front in his 600th career start. He is the 32nd driver to do so, but only one of the previous 31 won in his 600th start, and that, of course, was the king, Richard Petty.
The king of stock car racing.
Yep. Driving, of course, the famed number 43. Don't remember that day if it was a Plymouth, a Dodge, a Ford, a Buick, an Oldsmobile, a Chevrolet, or a Pontiac, because he drove them all.
I liked it when he drove the Pontiac.
Yeah. Hey, there has been a new shot of life into this team. This race car has been fast as of late, and when I say as of late, it's literally been almost 2 months. The 43 car has been solid week in and week out, knocking on the door to top 10s, even the top 5s.
And it was Richard Petty Day here on Friday. The king was celebrated along with Cup practice. And that Buick Regal, is that a Cup car or a street car? Look at those fender flares. It could be a Cup car, couldn't it?
It could be. It takes me right back to 1981. I believe that's when he ran the Regal, isn't it?
You look at that big cowboy hat behind the wheel.
No,
how cool would that be to let the king drive you around a racetrack?
Got that right.
And wait a minute, what do you mean it was just he only gets one day? Every day we celebrate Richard Petty.
There you go.
Check out this battle. Reddick heating up Kevin Harvick.
Now Tyler Reddick had a removing equipment penalty at lap 130. We saw that gas can get away, and he has been fighting back to the front. He restarted 19th, and he is +5 since the restart.
Nice
Dylan
run.
and Ross Chastain, 15th.
Yeah, he talked about Petty GMS. Nice run for Ty as well.
Just been solid.
Yeah.
Not making any mistakes, being there, making all the laps, finishing all the races. Done a good job so far in this 42 car.
And there's the 45 of Kurt Busch, the first car in the field on new tires. He is up 6 since the restart to 16th.
And you heard him talk about being mired back in traffic, but he's making progress, marching his way to the front. Still a lot of race to go.
All right, Mikey, Mr. 17 winners in the first 26 races. 7 of the top 8 right now are winless this year.
Well, how about that, Clint?
Oh, it's going to be 12, buddy. A long ways from 17 if that happens.
Oh, if you look at all the drivers who coulda, shoulda, woulda won, it's a lot more than 17.
You just said it. Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Right.
No chance you're getting a 17. Now, I do think you're going to be 13, 14. And that being said, it's going to heat up that bubble picture in a big way, closing, races into this season before the playoffs.
What a Barry push record on what he just said. We'll play it back to him when he's wrong, okay?
Well, at this moment, Eric Jones and Austin Dillon are the drivers on the bubble based on points. Larry Mack, 65 to go.
Well, Mike, the window is open. If a caution comes now, everybody could pit and make it to the end on fuel. But when I look at a lot of the guys that pitted on 131, like Truex, Kyle Busch, Blaney, they can go to about lap 210, which would be 30 to go in the race. Everyone that pitted on that lap 143, you got to go all the way back to Kurt Busch in 16th. They can go about another 5 to 10 laps, but I think no matter when you pit, it's either fuel only or right side tires only.
Thanks, Larry. I thought we had a caution brewing here because Austin Cindric just carried Alex Bowman way down the racetrack in the straightaway as Bowman hangs on his quarter panel in the corner. And here's Ty Dillon shooting past Denny Hamlin's wounded car against A.J. Allmendinger.
There was a revisit of the feud between the 11 and the 1. See the 11 up ahead. Here comes Ross Chastain and Kurt Busch.
Car gets tight. 11 got tight a little bit.
What's wrong with you?
Got tied up against the one got tied up against the 11
car. That's the way I saw it.
What got tight was that strap on the bottom of that helmet.
Yeah.
Hey, Larry, you said the window's open. Is that the pay window Clint always talks about?
No. Fuel window. You talk Larry, he doesn't know about that pay window. That pay window, now if that fuel window opens up, now we're talking about getting paid.
They always mailed me my checks.
Direct deposit. How about our Xfinity fastest lap? Fastest last lap was Christopher Bell, currently in 5th. Then Daniel Suarez in 6th. Kurt Busch with those new tires in 15th. Ryan Blaney in 3rd. And Eric Jones in 7th.
Wow, that's a hot lap by Bell, wasn't it?
Bell certainly was.
Bit of activity begins on pit road. Some of the crew members warming up for what could be the money stop here. 7th caution of the day. Tyler Reddick coming off turn 2.
That's what you call going for it. Just trying to, ooh, and look how close.
BJ McLeod. So I saw this off of 4 a couple laps. He's running really high on the racetrack, and the car would take off and get tight on him.
That was not a flat tire.
I don't think so.
Nope.
I think it just,
that was,
I think it was pushing, you know, tight, snap loose on him and come around.
That was flat on the floorboard a little bit too soon.
But let me tell you something. This is the money stop. Business is going to pick up in a big way. A lot of pressure on these guys. Need a big stop, but no mistakes. Need a clean stop, right, Larry?
Absolutely, and you don't need a lot of fuel, so you don't need to sit there and wait on fuel. I think you'll see a lot of right side tires only.
Josh Bilicki will get the free pass. Parker Kligerman is also a lap down. BJ McLeod 2 down. Denny Hamlin 11 down. Cody Ware off track, and Corey LaJoie in the garage.
It's just so important. I think if you can beat them off of pit road, I think you can win this race. The first one to clean air off of 2, it's going to be hard to handle.
A big question is going to be how many will stop, because we still have 30 cars on the lead lap.
Well, you remember, Mike, back on the last pit stop, Martin Truex just got 2 tires and he drove away from the field. So there's going to be some differing strategies for sure. I think don't
he wasn't the only one. Kyle Larson said the same thing. His car felt the best it did all day on 2 tires, right sides.
"30 players, the number of cars that will restart on the lead lap after this caution, are still alive for $5,000 of Clint's cash on the Fox Bet Super 6 app." Martin Truex, what will they do?
I think just the amount of fuel we need to make it to the end box always has to force us to do it. Okay, you don't have to explain to me, just do what you got to do.
That's when he's leading. Just think if he's running 20th, how he'd feel.
Toyota's 1-2, Ford's 3-4. The first Chevy is Suarez in 6th. And here they come, Regan.
Well, Martin Truex Jr. happy with the balance of that race car. Just a little bit too free for him. The decision's going to be the amount of tires based on the amount of fuel that he needs in that race car. And you see it's going to be 4 tires for Martin Truex Jr. The 20 car, Christopher Bell, needs that race car to take off a little bit better, but it's very good at the end of the long runs. Jamie?
Eric Almirola in the 10, really good. The call is George Washington. He said he needs rear side bite, help him out a little bit. The 12 of Ryan Blaney, nice recovery for him. A 4-tire stop here. And the 18 of Kyle Busch, they debated 2 or 4 tires, and it looks like it's right sides only for 18.
How about Eric Jones beating him out on a 2-tire stop?
+6 for Jones, +8 for Logano and Bowman, +13 for Kyle Larson.
There's some real close contact here on the exit of pit road. Watch Martin Truex. Do they make contact?
Yeah.
Yes. Golly, that's. Hope it didn't do damage to the left front of that 19 car.
That's how close it was. Amazingly, only one pit road penalty has been called all day. It's been relayed to us, and that was the one on Tyler Reddick. Moving the gas can earlier.
They got them all out of their system last week.
Man, I thought Eric Jones actually beat him out, but I guess that's not the case. You saw it right there. Kyle Busch to the lead. I said whoever can come off of turn 2 in the lead, it's going to be hard to handle. We'll see.
Let's check with Larry Mack with 54 to go here.
Yeah, Mike, this is our 15th race of 2022 with this next-gen car. A lot of things are different from last year. But remember, we went to the aluminum rim, and it gained 3 inches in diameter. It went from 15 inches to 18 inches. You give it to them, they will fill it up. That gave them a much bigger brake package, and it's 30% more braking on this car than last year. That's from our Ford Performance Cutaway car.
Well, sure needed here.
Yeah, that's a lot of braking, and it's perfect for this racetrack. The pressure on the brakes into turn 1's greater than anywhere else we go.
A couple of them maybe didn't have that 30% more braking.
So we showed that contact, and there was a little bit of aftermath here. Watch the 19 of Truex. not happy with Eric Almirola.
Showing it a little bit off of the corner. That's just a product of how narrow that pit road is. You know, that they had 10 pulled out there, tried to pull up, and the 19 was there.
And they have a history. Doesn't everybody?
Today we're gaining more and more history that we're going to have to follow throughout the summer months to see how it all turns out. But Truex wasn't very happy when he came to pit road leading the race. He told his crew chief, do whatever you got to do, I'm all right.
Yeah.
And then certainly wasn't happy when he got run into.
The biggest question, will this be the final caution and pit stop of the day? 53 to go.
It's got to be frustrating if you're Truex leading the race, come out 7th. Tough road to hoe now. A lot of work to do on this restart.
It's warm here. Not necessarily overheated, but some tempers have.
This started it all right there. Ross Chastain into the back of Denny, and Denny's just been aggravating him the rest of the day.
And there's Chastain in the middle, and that turns the 9 of Chase Elliott, who shows his displeasure. Oh, and there's Hamlin again with Chastain. And here's Hamlin again with Chastain. And here's Ricky Stenhouse, who got in the back of Bubba Wallace.
Can't believe Bubba kept that out of the wall.
But it happened to be right in front of his owner, Bubba Wallace's owner, Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin drove up and hit the 47. Been a lot of action, a lot of frustration. And I don't think it's over.
That was Chastain into Logano right there.
Again.
Ricky Stenhouse is back on pit road. You know, of all the tracks that we compared this place to, it's racing a lot like Martinsville. Constant contact.
Well, much like Martinsville, very hard to pass.
Yeah.
You know, and it comes down to a dive bomb or you know, trying to move them out of the way. We've certainly seen both.
Michael, I have bad news for your amigo in the 99 car, Daniel Suarez. On that pit stop, the jack broke on the left side. He's all the way back to the 26th position. You'll see right here, Jackman goes to the left side, just will not go up. They have to go and get a spare jack to get that 99 up, all the way back outside the top 25.
Literally the story of his season so far this year.
Totally, Clint, you're exactly right. I watch him closely. I love that guy. And just can't catch a break.
So after the choose, Eric Jones chooses outside of Kyle Busch. Logano Bowman, Larson Almirola, Truex Bell. 30 cars on the lead lap. Ricky Stenhouse made an extra pit stop, so he is the last of those.
I'm glad we haven't settled this Ford versus Chevy versus Toyota thing yet, because there's 3 of them in the first 3 positions. It's just a toss-up about who's got the fastest cars.
Well, I can tell you one of them that I like, that 43 car. Been a long time since you've seen that car, been a player in this sport, and I'm telling you, this is a huge opportunity for Eric Jones and everybody moving towards 17 winners, huh, Mike?
Yeah, that's right, Clint. You're getting on board.
Richard Petty was honored here on Friday, hoping to walk into victory lane on Sunday as Eric Jones takes the restart green.
That's
nice
a big
start.
jump.
There goes Ross Chastain to the bottom. And they're 4 wide right where Chastain is. Making contact, bouncing off of each other.
Ty Dillon on the outside. Here comes Briscoe.
Look at that run he had.
Moves. We know these restarts. It's time to go. Aggressive.
Oh, here goes Kyle Busch around Jones.
Jones hanging tough on the outside. He's clear. Kyle Busch is clear. Here's Logano. Had to move down and block Logano. What a race.
Somebody got way up and just barely into the turn 4 wall, and that was Chase Briscoe. He's dropped way back.
Can Joey Logano get this pass made? He's the guy pre-race favorite, I think, and he's now presenting himself toward the front.
Couldn't agree with you more. He needs to make quick work with Eric Jones. Struggling a little bit here as Kyle Busch drives off into the sunset. Exactly what Kyle Busch wants to see. Now you see Logano moving up.
We went to the Coliseum for the first time. Logano, victory lane. Bristol Dirt, Logano, victory lane.
It's 4 wide, 5 wide.
5 wide down the front, straightaway in the back. Good grief.
Look out.
Daniel's got somewhere to go after that pit problem. All of his amigos are around him.
3rd place. Almirola past Jones for third. Bowman fifth. Truex sixth, trying to get back to the lead. Larson seventh.
Larson's been quiet today, hasn't he? Started back in 15th position. Used track position once to get up front. Got a little bit of a bump there by Cindric, but not a Kyle Larson type of day.
No, it took him about 30 laps to start passing cars today. Very uncharacteristic. This is for seventh.
Look at that dive bomb.
Wow, that was aggressive. It's going to make it work, too, around Cindric.
Well, you know, it's going to pick up. Like I've always said this, when does the pay window open? It is open. I said 50 to go, 47 to go right here. It is open in a big way. You're going to see aggression. It is time to move. Make passes wherever you see it, top or bottom, or go through them. We've seen all three, haven't we?
That's exactly right. How's our buddy that's been going through, guys? The Moose. The Moose is in the house, and he's up to 12th. Wow, what a strong corner that was. We talked before the race, Clint. He just he goes where they aren't. Well, somebody's low, he's going to go high.
He's got a fast car. You know, when you're aggressive like that and you're making moves, doing things exactly what you just said, where nobody else can go, tells me a lot about the hot rod you're sitting in.
I think if you diagrammed every car of every lap of every race this season as to mid-corner speed, that number one would be right at or near the top.
They can't get this battle settled. Bell on the bottom runs through the center of the corner. And here comes A.J. Allmendinger on the inside of McDowell. What a great job by A.J.
Still there.
There's Allmendinger up 7 positions since the restart.
Said he never seen this place before.
Never turned a lap coming in here. He's certainly figuring it out at the right time.
6th place to Blaney. I would think AJ's fire suit's probably just about dry from yesterday in Portland. Big rain race for most of it.
And just keep this in mind, AJ warming up for where we're going next week.
Sonoma, the road course.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And he's got fast cars, and if you couple those two things together with his road racing skills, could be the favorite.
Hang on to it, Kurt.
Three laps ago, both Kyle Busch and Joey Logano turned their fastest lap of the race. And those were the fastest of the day. Now Blaney second quickest overall. But,
Mikey, that was so close to Kurt Busch getting into Cindric, getting into one. It was, my gosh, I thought he was going to get into him. Kept it off of him, got it rotated. What a battle here.
Kurt, after that pit stop, he lost all his track position. Now up inside the top 10. You know that tells you how good this Monster Energy Toyota is.
He is up 14, make that 15 positions since the restart. I'm correct. He's up 6. That's still a lot.
It's a lot. We see how hard it is to pass.
It's Ryan Blaney who's up 10 positions since the restart, going for 11 here on Martin Truex.
He was my guy I picked, but I just think he's got a little too far to go. But man, what's putting on a show. Ryan Blaney up 10 spots. That's getting the most out of a restart.
Now what do you do about pitting? If the caution comes out now, do you just stay out?
Larry, I don't know about you, but my stuff's already over at the hauler.
Okay. I was talking to you, Larry. I didn't think Clint knew.
Larry's already called the pilot, said had one engine running. All right, Jamie.
Mike, how about Team Penske? They've only had one top 10 the last 5 races among the 3 teams. Right now, all 3 in the top 10. But you guys talking about Ryan Blaney overcoming adversity. Lost a tire earlier third. They just overcame a slower pit stop. They've been freeing him up all day, but he's keeping it in the game. 6th right now.
6th and up 10 since the restart. Oh, Ricky Stenhouse.
Yeah, that's been.
Hold on to there. Keep digging. There's the caution. Caution's up.
All right, Larry.
You sure you put everything up, Larry?
Could you drag it back over here, please? I might like to have.
You know what? My battery's dead. I can't hear you.
I kind of like to have 2 tires if you got them, bud.
I agree. I think somebody's going to put some
I'll
tires
give them to
on.
you in 39 laps. How about that? Now, all kidding aside, you know we've got 30 cars on the lead lap. If you're up near the front, you're not coming. If you're way on back, come on, make some changes, get some tires. But if you're up here top 8, top 10, there is no way you come here.
Ricky Stenhouse was at the tail end of the lead lap, trying to hang on for the finish of this one.
See him way up high, clearing it back, got into the wall.
That broke his rear end.
I'm wondering if it was broke before the way that thing shot up, it may have been broke even before that. You see it right there. Really fought it loose in the middle. Man, that was a hard contact.
Yep.
If it wasn't broke before, it certainly was after that.
Hold on to there. Keep digging. There's the caution. Caution's out.
Tyler Reddick will get the free pass and be back on the lead lap. Yeah. Well, as Larry was saying, given the number of cars that are on the lead lap and on a long run, the lack of further fall off on these tires, what would you really gain by coming now?
Yeah, I think Clint said it. If you're up front, you're staying. But heck, if I'm running 25th, I'm gonna come do something.
Yeah. Well, just try to get off a cycle. It's about the only card you can play.
I'm thinking about, I don't know, Larry, 15th on back would come. What do you think?
It may be even closer to the front than that, but definitely if you're in the top 10, you are not coming.
Okay.
I just love what I see up front. You know, Kyle Busch, the lone wolf in that Toyota, 2 Fords hounding him with Logano and Almirola. You know he's gonna, if anybody's gonna hold off those favorite cars of Logano and Almirola, it's gonna be Kyle Busch.
More around.
Have a really good restart.
All right, so Brad Keselowski is going to come in from, I think, 15th or 16th, and a couple behind him. So, yeah, 16th on back will come in.
Our crew chief was all over that one, wasn't he? He said around 15th or so.
And I didn't think the 19 was going to be able to get back up there and get in this game. Running 5th, he ain't out of this thing. Nor is the 12.
We're going to take you side by side one more time with 37 laps to go. Working the 8th caution of the day for Ricky Stenhouse spin. Kyle Busch choosing the inside against Joey Logano. Almirola Jones, Truex Blaney, Bowman, Kurt Busch, Cindric, and Chastain.
That looks like a fun game to play, Clint. Don't you wish we could have done that?
Nice job by Zane Smith in the top 20. He is in for Chris Buescher, who is out due to COVID protocol. So Zane Smith got tapped to drive that car, and he is in the top 20. Good job here today for the 17.
Blend some Sonoma sunshine and a road course, and you'll always find yourself in good spirits. Will Kyle Larson once again stomp the competition, or will someone else come along to reside on the top shelf? Come enjoy every twist and turn right here on FS1.
Well, it's our favorite weekend of the year, going to Sonoma, and Tony Stewart, who scored his last Cup Series win at Sonoma in a last lap battle with Denny Hamlin, will join Clint and me in the booth.
Love that racetrack. One of my favorites for sure, Mikey. We had a good memory there, didn't we? But watch this restart. Kyle Busch, interesting, he picked the inside. Cannot get off of 2 with that 22 on his quarter panel. If he does, it's going to be game on.
Here we go. You see him waving out the window.
Yes, sir.
Give me that push, buddy. Good launch by Kyle.
Big block. Needs to get clear of 22. Does so. That is exactly what he needed to do, utilizing that push from Eric Jones. Good job, Kyle Busch.
Almirola hanging right in there in the top 5, up on the outside, versus Eric Jones.
They got single file pretty quickly, but for this group right here in front, and now they fan out again in the corner.
Look at this, 22 to the inside for the lead. Did a crossover. Race is on now. Can he get into the corner, slide up in front of him? He's in hard, he's in deep.
We're still there, still out there, still there.
Is he clear? Yes, he is.
Wow.
Wow is right. Joey Logano to the lead. There it is. First lap led. Didn't think it was going to be this late in the race. I really thought he would lead a lot of laps today, but man, he's leading the ones that count.
Man, that's got to be hard for Kyle Busch to take. Grabs the lead, thinks he's got control of the race. Here comes Joey Logano with the power move.
9 different leaders today. And look at Eric Almirola. He is still part of the equation right here in 3rd place.
And has been this whole second part of the race. Needs a good run, finding it right here in St. Louis. Great run, Eric Almirola.
And he's all over Kyle Busch. He's faster than Kyle right now. Can he make the same move Joey made down on the bottom?
Those guys have been backing up into the bubble picture of the playoffs.
And they better get
run is getting him right where he needs to be.
They better get going because Blaney is coming. Way down on the inside. And drops in. Right behind Eric Jones.
Cindric looks to the bottom on Bowman. They're racing for the 8th spot.
Oh, that was close.
Lost his nose. And now we're 3 wide. C-Bell to the bottom.
Woo, you saw the flames come out of the pipes of Larson in the middle. He tried to get in position, lifted a little bit tight. Look how tight this is.
Now what do you do?
Cindric thought better of it. Smart choice.
Yes.
And here comes our buddy Ross Chastain.
Back over in the middle now, Cindric.
3 wide. No one surprised. Can he move up? I think he's got him cleared.
He did.
He did it. Wow.
Ross just drove right underneath that whole 3 wide mess and moved on.
That was impressive.
Battle for 5th here.
Yep. Now Blaney's gone by both those cars.
Man, look
and
at
up to 4th.
Look at the job that Kurt's doing.
And now Kurt, yeah, exactly. Cindric and Larson still battling. Larson seems to be loose up off the corner, having trouble getting off the corner on both ends. Now he's got Harvick to his inside. Truex is trying to get clear. Here comes a crossover from Kurt Busch.
Oh, got to the outside of Truex.
I like that, though. I think that's what he needed, Mike.
Can he finish the deal? I'm telling you what, if he finishes deal, we get a caution, this 45 will have something to say about who wins this race.
Busch racing for 6th with Truex.
Remember when he was talking to us, drinking his Monster Energy, saying, I got a long way to go, but I'm ready for it. Win a stage, and what do I get for it? I'm 25th.
Yeah, he says, I'll see you in a while. Well, here he is. He's fought his way back up to 6th place.
I think he's got him this time, Mike. Put Kurt into 6th, and he'll pursue Eric Jones.
Well, I heard you guys talking about Almirola and Blaney. Why they were able to have those lap times is this. They put 4 tires on last time. The top 2 only took 2 tires. Lap 185. They should have an advantage.
We've heard some drivers say they like their car better with just the right side tires, though. So it just
okay, maybe they don't have an advantage. No, you're right, though.
You can do it both ways, I guess. I'm seeing some really fast lap times from Blaney.
It really doesn't. Once it settles in, it doesn't seem to matter. The lap times kind of fall in line, whether you have 2 tires or 4 tires. Once the temperatures come up, they equalize.
13th place, Kyle Larson, Michael McDowell, A.J. Allmendinger, and Chase Briscoe. Turn 3.
What a run by McDowell. Dicing it up with Kyle Larson. That's a pretty good day when you do that. Inside the top 15.
How about Allmendinger? Never saw this racetrack until this morning.
That says a lot for that Colleague Racing team as well. They bring fast cars. Ben Rhodes hopped in that car, ran 2 laps, and ran into the wall. Had some issues.
It's a good point, but that 34 car, you saw him on the outside. McDowell, so proud of the effort that they've done. Good to see that little team running with the big dogs today.
Well, Michael McDowell's led more laps today than he has ever led in a full season to date. So good job.
Yeah, and another guy that I love seeing what he's doing, and that's Zane Smith.
Yeah.
I cover him in the trucks. He's a great racer, obviously, but he said when he got the call from Brad Keselowski to drive his car, it was like a dream come true. He said, 10 years ago, I was collecting Brad Keselowski diecast. And he gives me a call and says, will you drive my car? He couldn't believe it. He's been patient, methodically made his way through the field. Now he's running inside the top 20.
Love exactly what you said, and that's exactly what he needed to do. Taking advantage of this opportunity, make all the laps, no mistakes. Definitely stay in this thing and make all the laps. Exactly what he needed to do.
Boy, Ryan Blaney right there all over Eric Almirola. And Kyle Busch just ahead. And Chris Buescher, by the way, expected back next week for Sonoma. Out with COVID.
The lead is only a second. So I'm telling you, if Blaney gets around this mess that he's in, he's going to go somewhere.
Still 22 laps to go.
That number 12 has been fast all year long, winning stages.
Got a little loose there.
He won the All-Star race, but he's the only Penske car that has not yet visited victory lane this season.
Yet. Might get 17.
So on your path to 17 winners, if he gets up there to race Joey Logano, what does Joey do?
He wins the race. You got to have those playoff points.
All right.
You can't be laying over.
Team Penske, they've got Joey Logano leading right now. Ryan Blaney, you guys have been talking about the 12 running 4th. If you exclude the All-Star race, in our last 5 races leading into St. Louis, all 3 drivers from that camp, 1 top 10 finish, Joey Logano's win at Darlington.
And we didn't see that one coming, Larry. No. They hadn't been running well, and he jumps up there and wins Darlington, and just an amazing season of unpredictability.
But there he's right. They've had the speed, not the consistency.
20 to go.
Back to the inside again.
I think he gets him this time.
You do? There, I think he let him go.
He started messing with him.
Yeah.
You look in the mirror and see nobody behind you. You don't want to just hold another guy up and cost yourself another position. Fall in line and get to the finish.
Well, we've already seen a few times today what that does. You aggravate that guy long enough, he's going to take care of business.
Well, if the point is for both of them to get up to and pass Kyle Busch, whether it's Blaney or Almirola in front or the other.
Kurt has closed on Eric Jones. pretty quickly closed on him. Can he get to the bottom and make the move? Oh, that's so frustrating when you're right there. You just can't get the gas down.
Cole Custer will bring out the 9th caution flag of the day.
Pretty good damage there.
He was running 20th.
That's what these boys wanted to see.
Sports fans, we're going to see a fantastic
Not what he wanted to
finish.
see at all.
No, Paul Wolf, Joey Logano's crew chief. By the way, Denny Hamlin, that brushback, the crewman that got injured on Logano's team last week, Denny Hamlin called Paul Wolf. He said, do you have video of that? I want to look at it. I don't think I hit him. I don't think I brushed him back. And then Denny Hamlin went on Twitter and said, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I was too close.
Had some help there, didn't he, Mikey?
Took responsibility.
Well, that's certainly, you know, the right thing to do.
Yep.
You know, it's such a dangerous thing.
Well, there's no way anybody's going to purposely run into a guy, and certainly Denny didn't mean to do that.
Was that Todd Gilliland?
Yeah, I think it was.
In the back of
rookie Todd Gilliland got in the back of Custer, turned him around. Right in front of the leader, Custer trying to save a lap. Logano slowed down. I'd say the front end of that machine has a scuff on it for sure.
Parker Kligerman gets a free pass. Gets back on the lead lap.
Well, you've been talking about him, Blaney.
Yep.
Amarola.
He's going to be on row 2. Kyle Larson fan having some fun in the stands.
I love how many kids are here today. This place is packed with families. Great to see. Sellout crowd.
What about all they've done here? Concerts, the Midway's fantastic. Kenny Wallace, John Roberts this morning with the
look at that
return of the speed stage out in the front of the track.
Did I hear Cole Swindell?
I did.
This morning. It's an event.
Tim
this
Duggar
is an event.
And another concert after the race. For those trying to catch flights to get out of here, maybe a lot of this crowd will stay for the post-race concert down in turns 1 and 2.
You can't have a NASCAR race without Tim Duggar.
That's right, Old Dominion playing after the race.
He's a requirement.
I mean, these are big names.
Yeah.
You want to have a big race and show your fans a good time. You bring in Old Dominion after a race. You bring Cole Swindell in to entertain him beforehand.
Jimmy Allen's
been entertained. These guys are putting on a hell of a show on this racetrack. I've had fun this weekend.
Jimmy Allen's doing a concert as well.
It's not just at this racetrack either. The city really took to this race, activated downtown, saw big screen TVs watching the race, watching you call that truck race yesterday. Had so much fun last night, maybe a little bit too much fun.
It's going to happen, Clint.
Hey, it does.
You get into the spirit of things and you get a little carried away.
I certainly did.
Fellas, we're going to have some pit stops here. We've got 30 cars on the lead lap with 17 to go.
I'm staying out. I'm with Larry. I'm glad he left. Here comes some guys at the end of the field, though.
Yeah, if you're up front, you can come if you want to, but you're the one that's going to have to answer the owner tomorrow morning. I'm not going to go in there with you.
Saw William Byron and Bubba Wallace head for pit road.
17 to go. The pay window's open. I've learned that.
Yeah.
Who's going to steal the cash? Have you learned
Joy,
that?
Illinois 300 at Worldwide Technology Raceway, born as Gateway International Raceway, St. Louis. Gateway to the west, and all the way out here, people were saying, meet me in St. Louis, Louis. You know how old that line is? That was a Judy Garland musical comedy that MGM released in 1944.
I knew we were not going to get this broadcast all the way to the completion without you giving us some sort of a tidbit of information from the 20s that only you know about.
Was that same line Judy, Judy, Judy from that movie? Judy, Judy, Judy.
I don't think so.
What did you just say?
Judy, Judy, Judy.
You sounded like a car that missed a shift or something.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, I was here in 1997 for the Busch race. DNQ'd. That's really all the information I've got.
Okay.
It's not a good stat, right?
I was here racing SCCA in 1990 when I think all was here was the drag strip and the road
guys
course.
putting in time, giving us some great shots this weekend.
All right, so let's take a look at Michael's 17 for 26 races theorem here. There's the best camera crew in all of auto racing hard at work. Who's going to make the playoffs? Well, here are the winners, and we've always said you win, you're in. We know the two-time winners are in.
They're
but
in.
If there's more than 16 winners total after 26 races, somebody might not make it. Last year's winners have yet to win. That's a big list.
Christopher Bell's getting on into that. Bubba Wallace has work to do. This is the one that really heats up. The teammates, Tyler Reddick and Austin Dillon. Kevin Harvick's in. They ain't going to knock him out.
Austin Dillon, 1 foot from clearing for the lead on the last lap
and
winning
moving in, right.
the 600 again. 1 foot is
So
all he
true.
needed.
But look at this. Drivers that have not won who are right now running in the top 10 at this moment. Blaney, Almirola, Jones, Truex, Bell, all hungry to get to victory lane.
It's been a great season. This car has really mixed things up, given a chance for teams like Richard Petty, GMS to be up front.
Trackhouse Racing.
All right, there's 15 laps to go.
23:11.
And in 14 races so far this year, the final pass for the win came in the final 10 laps in 11 of 14 races.
Oh, so the odds are.
Yes, they are. And I'm sure Larry can trump that.
Well, I'll raise you one, Mike. In 7 of the 14 races, the final lead change this year has come with 5 or fewer laps to go, including the Coke 600 last week.
That was 600 miles that you will never forget.
Right. All right, what's the 22 thinking here?
Yep, copy. I mean, the launch is important, I guess, both lanes, the way you look at it. If you take the top, it's for sure a race for Alpha 2.
And then he's just going to slam me down to 3 and 4. You know what I mean? He's just going to slide down me. And Blaney picked the bottom with me.
Blaney took the bottom with you. That means a pusher. But you know,
no, Blaney took the top.
No, he didn't.
Almirola took the bottom.
This is mirror driving city right here. If you're Joey Logano, you're going to be blocking to the outside of the bottom.
Is Mirror Driving City, is that just up the road from Dive Bomb City?
Yes.
We're going to get that
or
too.
down the road, however you want to see it.
What Joey Logano?
Yeah, just make sure you don't go to Spin City after that.
Joey Logano has the option to slide up into Kyle Busch to widen out his entry. I'll see. I will believe that might happen. Contact.
Well, you're going to need a push. We saw Kyle Busch use that push with his hand gesture out the window, needing Eric Jones to get to his bumper, shoved him past Logano on the outside, slid up. That being said, you can't trust that push now.
Yeah, because they're going 3 wide.
They're going to put you 3 wide in a hurry.
Especially when his teammate went to the top. He's going to shove
out the window.
They will take the green flag with 13 laps to go.
No hand out the window for Logano.
Got the power down good. Didn't spin the tires. Dead even drag race. Kyle Busch drove it in on the outside. Kyle Busch back to the lead. I wondered about that picking the inside lane, just like Kyle Busch did.
3 wide.
Now can Logano get to the outside and cross him back over, pass him down here in 3 and 4.
Kyle goes way up the hill and Joey hugs the bottom along with Blaney.
Just exactly like before. Did not get to his inside though.
That's on.
What a restart for Kyle Busch. You see him get that car rotated, turn back down the hill. If he's going to make the pass, it's going to be down here in 3 and 4, Michael.
Yeah, this is the end he's strongest in. Will Kyle continue to swing wide? Yes, he does.
Kurt Busch to 4th.
Joey really wrapping the bottom.
One more
Carrying speed through the middle. Needs to be door to door on the exit. Still not there.
And now Blaney closing up on the lead duo to the inside.
See Kyle Busch way up the racetrack. Joey looks like he's searching a little bit.
Got a run.
Middle.
Got a little bit of a run off too.
Using a little bit of a push from his teammate.
Look at him dive deep into the corner.
Oh, stayed high this time.
But Blaney is the one of these 3 without a win.
I like that move. He actually stayed closer to him on exit, kept the momentum moving a little bit higher, turning low.
And he does it again, Clint. He liked it too. He liked what he felt. So he moved up the hill in 1 and 2 as well.
And Kyle wiggles a little bit, got loose up off. Here's going to have a run. Is he going to make his move? Diving to the bottom. He's going to have to exit, be there on the exit. Still not going to happen.
Here, 3 back Blaney, 9 to go.
Wow, this is intense.
They put a little distance on Ryan Blaney.
I like this. Kyle Busch fighting that loose condition. He's got to keep that car underneath of him. Don't bobble and hand this to him.
And he is running a risky line right up on the top of the racetrack. He steps off that line 1 foot the wrong way, and he's going around.
Well, that's exactly what happened that lap before. This time, perfect. Nailed it. Carry a lot of momentum off the corner. I think when Logano makes that line and move up a little bit in 3 and 4, it carries the momentum better off of 4, puts more pressure on him down here getting into 1.
He's closer.
Needs to keep working on that. I like this. Setting him up. Pretty much single file behind these guys. The race is on for the lead.
Oh, he makes good time when he goes up in the middle of the racetrack.
Yeah, just like before. Keep working on that.
7 to go.
Stretch it another half, Carly. 7 to go.
Discipline there. Lifted a little bit early. Gets the car rotated back to the throttle.
Oh, he can taste victory.
All he's got to do is get door to door. Get a little bit of a side draft. You see his car rotating just a little bit better than Kyle Busch. Almost. Not quite yet. So much patience here.
Kyle really got to the gas hard there.
Yeah, but you see, you got to be careful not to drive a push into it. Got tied at the wall and had to lift. Joey got right to his back bumper. Man, Kyle's really driving it off in the corner.
Here's the closest Logano has been in the last 6 laps.
Is he going to be door to door? This might be it, Mikey.
Oh.
Not quite.
5 to go.
Toyota versus Ford.
Oh, he got loose.
Was that a bit of a stumble on the shift a bit? But he recovered quickly.
Yeah, he did. Good point. Almost helped him.
2-horse race with 5 to go.
You got 2 guys going for it. You saw them both slip up. You've seen the 18 slip up off 1 and 2. You know that high line is the weakness of the 18. How about this caution? 4 car in the wall off of 3. Well, there's your stat there, Larry.
Yeah, I'm okay. Brake rotor blew out or something.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, that's going to be a hard hit.
Kevin Harvick was 13th.
Let me tell you what you just did. You just invited Kurt Busch to this party. He's going to line up on row 2, and he's been the fastest car ever since he got mired in traffic. Drove all the way through the field to 4th, and now he's going to have a chance to race for a victory.
That's a hard hit for Kevin. You could hear it in his voice.
Look at Kurt. Looked like he did when we talked to him about an hour ago.
AMR safety team very quickly on the scene to tend to Kevin Harvick.
Kevin taking his time. That's a hard hit. He's shooken up a little bit.
Yeah, I talked to Corey LaJoie after a couple of hard hits at Charlotte. He said it's just the impacts just seem greater these days for some reason. And you could see Kevin was having a moment there to catch his breath.
You don't see that out of Kevin very often. That's one tough cat.
That's exactly what he is. The closer, and he is tough.
So Kevin Harvick walks away. Let's show you what happened. As he said, something like a brake rotor exploded, something like that, he thought.
Right down into turn 3, the worst place that anything could have went wrong.
One of the left side tires locked up early. You could see the black marks on the pavement. And the car shot to the wall.
Right side, a flat shot like that is always your hardest hits. Yeah, you saw it rotor. I think it was a right front actually. It had the left front locked up. I think it blew the tire out too when it went away.
Well, let's ride with Kevin.
There it is.
Oh, easy. And hold the brakes, stay high here.
Sounds violent.
It is violent. I'm going to see the right front.
Look at the right front here.
I don't know if the tire went, you know,
it was smoke, like the rotor blew up, like Kevin said. You heard it popping in there.
Watch the right front.
See the smoke?
Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah. Yeah, the right front. It was, I think it was the rotor. He was right.
What about Larson? Heads up driving there to make sure he didn't slide up into that mess.
Big hit, guys. And whoa, what
a couple of cars take the opportunity to pit.
Mike,
speaking of opportunity,
are we going NASCAR overtime?
Yes, we are.
Don't you love that?
Well, no.
What?
I mean, yes, it's exciting. It's a thrilling way to finish the race when you have a late caution. I like it much better than ending the race under caution. I just hate what happened to have to cause it. That's what I meant.
I agree 100%. Obviously, I hate that Kevin had a problem, but NASCAR overtime, these guys are really going to push and shove.
I think there's 4 cars here that it's any one of them can win this race.
I do too. It depends
one
on
little
how
slip up on anybody's behalf, it puts somebody else right in the catbird seat. Will they move them? Will they get aggressive? We're going to find out, aren't we?
I'm going to watch very closely Kurt Busch on row 2. He's had a really fast car, and I think he's in a good spot.
Poor kid there. He thought we had him. What happened, Dad?
So up into the top 10, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell back up into the top 10, and A.J. Allmendinger. Two restarts ago, here's what happened. Logano on the outside of Kyle Busch.
You see Kyle Busch get a big jump, slides up in front of him, and I thought, man, that's exactly what he needed. Kyle Busch to the lead, going to drive off into the sunset. The weird thing is, the next restart, I would have thought that Logano would have took the outside, took the bottom, and Kyle Busch beats him on the outside.
But Logano said he didn't take the outside because if they came off turn 2 side by side, Kyle would run him up the racetrack in turn 3. That was the reason for the decision.
And Kenny Wallace said earlier when he was here, one of the best restarters in all of NASCAR is Kyle Busch. And I agree with
the other one is?
Joey Logano.
Oh, Logano.
Good point.
Now I'm going to watch closely and see if Kurt Busch can beat them both.
Or if Ryan Blaney or Kurt Busch can steal this race from the front row restarters.
If they get side by side and stay that way, they're going to be 3 wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Logano won Darlington with a bump to William Byron. Let's have a look at that.
Yeah, don't you think Joey Logano won't move you out of the way? Didn't like this. Thought William Byron put him into the wall. Wasn't going to have any of it. Didn't even give him a chance. Knocked him out of the way and went to victory lane. That was a bold move. Will he do it again? Might need to. Or he said he would.
Well, if you take the inside, it gives you the option to run a guy up the hill. And that's something that they'll consider.
Well, I can tell you this. I don't think you run him up the hill. I don't think you nudge him. If you're going to do something, you better do what Joey Logano did and just knock him out of the way, not give them a chance at retaliation, because they will.
He's explaining to his son why Kyle Busch is going to win this race.
Chastain back in the top 10.
Yep, there's Chastain. He's been in 7th for the last dozen laps or so. Eric Jones 6th. Almirola 5th.
Yeah, sorry, needing a good run.
Allmendinger's in the top 10.
What about the Dinger?
Yep.
Pretty impressive weekend.
Made his way. That was a cool shot of him flying home with his trophy, wasn't it? After winning out in Portland. There's Eric Almirola. Solid day for this 10 team.
Very.
There's the Dinger.
Christopher Bell's had a great day right there in 9th.
So we're
like he's a little better car than 9th, but
Justin Haley, he won a
fly.
truck race here. He's up in the top 15.
Sir. Hendrick cars had a little bit of hiccup this weekend. Caught him off guard. Old setups wasn't exactly what they were needing. I saw Jeff Gordon before the race, flew into his son, Leo. Got a chance to talk with him.
So we're going to restart with 31 cars on the lead lap. The only lap down cars are Stenhouse and Hamlin. Out of the race, Harvick, Ware, and LaJoie.
There's Stenhouse. Had a tough day here in St. Louis.
I think they got that toe link fixed on the right rear and got him back out, though. Still in it.
So we'll go green, white, checker. And of course, if the leader takes the white flag under green, next flag ends the race.
Got to keep those tires clean. That's what the drivers are doing there, back and forth, getting any of the loose rubber on the track scuffed off of those tires so they can really hop on the gas. But that's something too, Clint. You've got to be very disciplined with as much horsepower as these cars have to get the gas down.
Where does Kyle Busch choose for this restart?
Well, I think he chooses the bottom because he doesn't want to be roughed up. And he just knows that the launch will be the key to this race. And then what does Blaney do?
Yeah, 1 and choose overtime. Green, white, checker.
All right, here's the choose.
He's going top. Oh me, let's open the door.
Now, one thing I do like about this, and that was a decision I guarantee you they talked about, that puts both Penske cars on the inside. You know Blaney's going to give him a big push. That's going to be important.
But then there's a pair of Toyotas, the Busch brothers, lined up on the outside.
Oh, you think you can trust your old bro back?
Old bro is going to give young bro a big push. I can promise you that. This guy's fought back from being outside the top 20 after the second stage.
We're going to see some of the sports finest putting on a show here for this sold-out crowd. I'm so happy they're all staying here. They're going to see one heck of a finish.
Can they keep them straight? Do they scrub? Do they crash?
Yes, yes, and what's
Maybe.
another one?
So behind them, Almirola and Jones in row 3, Chastain and Truex row 4, Bell and Allmendinger row 5, Cindric and Bowman, Larson and Haley, Dillon and Reddick, Byron and Smith, McDowell and Briscoe, the top 20, all on the lead lap. And here we go for the first attempt at overtime, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Here we go. This is good stuff. This is what we've been waiting for.
Pace car, get out of the way, because here they come.
Look at those
Tires
fans.
cleaned up. Get some temperature in your brakes. You're going to need them. We're going to dive this thing off in the corner hard as we have all day long. Here we go.
Push me, brother. Push me. Kurt doesn't get the start that
No, he didn't.
he needed.
Joey did.
And he's going to dive in front.
Slide job. Moving up in front of him. Here goes the crossover. Kyle, will he get into him?
Inside, 2 back, both lanes behind, 45.
He's going to see another slide job right here. Kyle Busch drives it way off into the corner. Logano needs it. Oh, he slid way up the track. Crossover coming.
And here comes Blaney.
And he's got a pusher right behind him. And sideways is Busch.
Yeah, excuse me, Kyle's sideways loose. 1 lap to go. The race is official.
Logano well out front of Kyle Busch. The race is for third, Kurt Busch and Blaney.
Behind them, Ross Chastain 3 wide. Nobody surprised.
How about that restart? You knew it was going to be wild. Joey Logano. Those two were going for it. Joey did exactly what he needed to do.
Off turn 4, Joey Logano.
Yeah. Nice job, dude.
The Penske Ford Mustang, a winner in St. Louis.
Louisiana, baby! Let's go! Yeah!
29th career win for Logano. 29th on the all-time list.
What a finish.
Yes.
What a race.
What a day.
What a weekend.
Well, what a week.
What a year. I mean, it's been a great year.
And it has. We're not
really
kidding.
has. No,
it
it's
really
been
has.
Awesome.
If you try to, every week we preview these races and try to figure out, all right, who's it going to be? Who do we need to talk about? If you pinpoint one group, one organization, one team, you're going to be wrong every time.
Joey Logano won everything this weekend except the pole. He bobbled on his second round qualifying lap, started this race 7th, but dominated every category of practice. And on the final restart, beats Kyle Busch.
We finally got one right, Mike. We said Joey Logano was our favorite. And that's exactly who won the race. And he did it in dramatic fashion.
And it really was that way right off the bat. In practice, we had that 50-minute practice on Fridays, which coming to this new racetrack was something a little bit different. These teams had time to practice 3 different sets of tires on that day. And all 3 sets, he was the fastest.
Another new track. Same winner.
How about that? He's magic at these new places. Pretty good everywhere.
Second win of the season. He becomes the 4th driver with multiple victories this year. And it's the 18th different track where Joey Logano has won. Tied for 3rd among active drivers.
Kyle Busch got a lot out of his weekend, a lot out of this day.
Got everything but the W.
Hang that head. What a great job. Didn't get that push by his brother.
That's got to feel so good with these fans, packed house, cheering for you like that, standing up there after a dramatic last lap pass.
Here's Jamie Little.
And what a celebration for Joey Logano. He's got some fans, some kids holding his flag up. And the little guy gets the checkered flag. Joey, I don't know what it is. You've got a knack for winning at places we go to for the first time. And here, Gateway, what does it mean to you to win the first time here in a packed house?
Oh, packed house. Thanks for coming out, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that race. It doesn't get much better than that. Racing for the lead like that with Kyle, one of the best, is a lot of fun. And crossing each other back and forth. I knew it was coming, so I did it to him. I knew he was going to do it to me. And was able to cross back and forth there a couple of times in the last lap there. And good show pencil Mustang for sure. Nice to get a few wins on the season here. Start collecting those points, but and playoff points. But I'm out of breath, Jamie. I'm way out of breath here. What a great car though, really fast. And we kind of messed up in qualifying. And Paul made a great call, putting 2 tires on. Blaney did a great job with the push down into 1, which kept me close at least and be able to make the move. So good racing there.
Well, we watched your crew chief, Paul Wolf. I think he was sweating it out there when we had a couple of restarts there. But you mentioned it. What was it like? What's going through your mind when you're trying to decide which lane to choose and if your teammate's going to be behind you to help you out?
Well, that's what I was hoping that Blaney would choose with me. And he did a good teammate move there and then being able to push me and give Team Penske a chance to win the race. And that was cool to see that Ford power lined up on the bottom, lining that up. So that was special to see. And like I said, but it's a good race, crossing each other. I mean, who'd have thought we'd have slide jobs like that here? I thought we'd be running towards the bottom, and we were running way up top and crossing each other. It was a lot of fun to race here, and looking forward to coming back.
All right, Joey Logano wins it at Gateway.
Well, Kyle Busch strong all day long, comes home in 2nd place. Kyle, we saw the crossover into turn 3 after the restart. How close was it to making that stick?
Not even close. You see me about wreck off of 4. Way better than Phoenix, though, I guess. For as bad as Phoenix was, JGR, the Toyota guys, did a good job of getting us some improvements there and at least being able to keep up and have a shot at the win. So our car just took too long to come in. Better on the long run, better up top. Top's not good to fire off on, but great job by the Snickers guys. I mean, again, we stayed in the running all day long and fought hard and thought maybe we could, but that was it.
Thanks, Kyle.
Well, victory lane here will be right on the front straightaway for the Enjoy Illinois 300. And these fans aren't leaving. They are still packed here in the grandstand and looking on to see what happens next, because there's a few more stories here to unpack. Jamie.
Well, a big story, of course, was Ross Chastain earlier on, and you in the 11 and then you in the 9. Take us back from your perspective, Ross, and what happened between you two.
Just terrible driving, Jamie. it's one thing to do it once, but I just kept driving into guys. And at this level, I'm supposed to be better than that. And it's a shame for Moose and Advent Health and Jockey and Worldwide Express and have all these people believing in me and Justin Marks and Pitbull to put me in this car. They deserve better.
Will you go talk to him?
I will, yeah. I owe half the field an apology, and words aren't going to fix it, so I'll have to pay for it on the track, and almost did today, and then I deserve everything that they do. I can't believe that I continue to make the same mistakes and overdrive the corners and drive into guys. I like had time under caution to like get reset, and we go green, and I drive into somebody. It's terrible.
Thanks, Ross.
Thanks, Jamie. Well, that's owning it.
That's exactly right, and that's how you try to say you're sorry. You make a mistake. It's a mistake. It wasn't on purpose, and that means something.
Well, yeah, you got to own it, right? And it ruined those guys' days. It ruined the 11 of Denny Hamlin. You're watching him right here, and Chase Elliott on his comeback that he had going. I mean, it was just it was an unfortunate deal. You got to own it. You got to move on. You got to get over that last shot. Move on to next weekend. Good news is next weekend's coming.
But in the end, it was Joey Logano who drove away from Kyle Busch to seal the victory in St. Louis. Congratulations to the Coca-Cola Racing family's Joey Logano for his big win on NASCAR's first Cup Series trip to St. Louis. He took a victory lap. They've now got victory lane situated. His crew is all up there waiting for him as we go to Jamie with Denny Hamlin.
Well, Mike, it was a day I think Denny Hamlin would like to forget. And we just talked to Ross Chastain. He took full blame. He said he can't believe he keeps making these mistakes and he deserves what he gets. How do you deal with him moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It takes responsibility, but ultimately, it ruined our day, and I think we were kind of racing hard there for a while on him on the inside, and he tried to keep sliding up in front of us and wasn't able to because I wasn't willing to just back off and let him slide up in front, and it didn't take long after he tucked it behind us that it wrecked us. So, I mean, the unfortunate part is it didn't look like he got too shy after that, because I think he got the 9 after that one. But we all have learned the hard way, and we've all had to come back around on us, and it'll be no different.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. A lot of calamity here at Gateway, and Joey Logano in victory lane to celebrate with his team. Well, Fox NASCAR has one more weekend, and you met us in St. Louis. Now we're going to sail off to Sonoma, where you'll see race day at 2:30 Eastern time, and then the Cup Series race on FS1. Now, during the week, NASCAR Race Hub every evening, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and the NHRA New England Nationals are coming up next. Michael Waltrip, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I enjoyed myself. What a great day. Thank you guys for having me.
I had a blast with you, buddy. We've had a lot of good times. Never in the booth together. Certainly did today.
10 caution flags, 9 different leaders. It came down to a shootout between Kyle Busch and Joey Logano, who wins in St. Louis.